and subscribe and hit the notification bell so you're notified the next time we post or go live. I'm La Hefa.
Chris OD.
It's your boy Smiley Jizzle. Happy to be here with y'all. Happy to be alive.
Happy Memorial Day.
Weekend.
Yeah,
Sure.
yeah. Some people gotta work tomorrow. Some people off.
Yeah, I'm glad I don't have to.
Same here, amen.
Shout out to my staff that's holding it down tomorrow.
Y'all open?
I appreciate y'all keeping us afloat. The next glizzy that somebody eat is gonna be for y'all, man.
Pause.
That's what they call. That's what hot dogs call. Glizzies.
You shouldn't be eating shits anyway.
And take a day off your life and
Have a chicken glizzy if you don't eat
or
pork.
turkey. You know they got turkey chops? What is that?
Ash Caitlin.
Oh.
It's a fiery one.
You know they got turkey chops? Like they're turkey. They're called turkey breast tenders.
Oh, snap.
So it's like pork chop, but it's turkey.
What's he like it, bro?
Turkey breast?
Yeah, it's called. They probably say turkey breast tenders, but some places say turkey chops. It depends where you get it, but it's the same thing.
Turkey chops.
They always trying to give us stuff.
No, but they don't just. They been had that. I just never.
Somebody wrote in the comments what they talking about, or that's you.
Hot rock.
What they said.
That's what they said. Hot rock. No comment. I'm not sure what that means. But thank you for tuning in. Could you hit the like button?
Yeah. Thank you. We in
Oh,
here.
because you burned yourself with the ash.
Oh yeah.
Caught you.
Yeah.
Caught you, candy camera.
JG,
Let's just get right to it, man. Where do we start? Y'all want to start with Remy and Pap? I mean, that could take all night. We try to make it a short discussion.
Talk about Carmelo Anthony and how he's facing.
We could talk about that last
life.
that's something, but you know everybody want to hear about that.
There's not
Remy
much
and Pap.
we could say about that that's going to change his outcome.
Yeah, you know.
I mean, nothing that we saying could. People still gonna do what they want.
Yeah, true.
We did kind of
And
allude
that's
to it,
already
but
sealed. So
I feel like with the Remy situations, though, there's a lot of people going through that now.
real
That
life.
They could
Yeah.
get away with more with a certain information. Because we didn't get that information when we was coming up. We just had to figure it out.
people was looking up to them. They thought like
Yeah.
relationship goal. That's why, and you don't even know them people personally.
Yeah,
You only
exactly.
know what's presented online or publicly, what they allow you to see or whatever. So, and that's how it should be, because none of your business what's going on in their personal life. Really, I wish that they would stay offline.
How will we know? How will we know
They
that
didn't
this is happening in life? And we know
Well,
that. How do we know that what we're going through? But how do we know that what we're going through is
But it
only
should be
what
a
we're
positive.
going through, and figure out a way to get through it? If we don't know if somebody else is going through the same shit,
That's a good
and they
question.
probably already have a solution.
Well, you don't want to handle it this way. I wouldn't recommend this.
Yeah,
If
I
so,
mean,
people.
public.
That's
but it
why it
ended up-
matters
don't
who's
stay public,
influential.
Right.
Because if you're having if your people are influenced by you and you're doing things the wrong way, or so to speak, whatever, a right and wrong is subjective. But if it's the wrong way to most people, like people are saying, like, we don't need to know this. You're public. Like, why are you putting this in? And it looks bad, and they already look at black people a certain way.
In
You got
Pap's
this
defense, he
chick,
ain't
she
put
done-
nothing out
She done went to
until all of this.
she done went
Yeah,
to prison
He kept it quiet
for
very
7
long.
years. Like,
See?
it's like, in my opinion, it's like, what did you expect? If a chick went to prison for shooting, it matters what you went for, too. She shot somebody, and she was her friend, okay? So, like, if she could do that, that should be a red flag to most men. But obviously, he liked aggressive women.
Oh,
now
they
you
going
with
second in chat.
now you with a boxer.
Let's see.
Hi, Ganja and Leslie.
Because there's a lot of ways to feel about this.
They said Kawhi Leonard and DeAndre.
Yeah, we in the building. But how y'all feel?
That was a good one, yo. Whoever was that.
He's saying that's who Pap, Who's, and Remy are?
No, he's saying that's us.
No, that's us.
Are you laughing like him?
Yo, they said we look like
right. That's a good one.
That was a good
no,
one.
but like, how do you feel about? Okay, so she said most men wouldn't want a woman that was doing.
No, I said I would think that.
You would think. Okay, you would think that most men. Well, let's.
And they say they want a feminine woman.
Okay.
That's not feminine. That's the definition of not feminine. You shot someone, and you're willing to go back because she made comments before when she got in trouble. Like, no, I don't want the parole. I rather just, if they want to give me time, then just do my time. I don't want to be for a woman to say that I have children. That's what he said. What's wrong with you? You got a family. You got kids. No, we gonna fight this. You're not about to, like. What did you talk about? If they give you, like, he talked her out of it, but she was ready. She death before dishonor. Like, she a soldier. You shouldn't have been a mother
Me personally,
if you acting like that. You willing to risk being out on the side with your family? Like, that's not feminine. Men said they want femininity.
Me personally, I don't think it's a femininity situation just because of the women that he chose to move on with. She be beating bitches up.
That's why I said he likes masculine women.
So I know. I'm just saying. So I don't think the problem is the masculinity thing. I think the problem is once a woman is in a situation like that, it's like you got to read the context clues. And then me and Smiley was talking about this in the car. It's like Pat always seemed like he gave her more.
Okay, y'all wildin' now. Relax in the chat.
Pap always seemed to give Remy more accolades than Remy gave Pap. You see what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. Like she liked him, but Pap loved her, and I feel like
to get blocked if you keep on right.
Just do what you gotta do with them. Don't mind.
Yeah, ain't gonna check off that.
Go ahead, cook.
Cause they bored and they don't got nothing to do.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Well, let them cook. They watching us. Let's just go ahead. I'm listening.
But yeah, like I feel like for Rem, like there was just mad signs that let you know that like Rem didn't really rock with Pap as much as Pap rocked with her, and I think that shit shows. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like from jump, like you never heard. Even if you did hear that Pat was doing some, like, it never stuck because, you know what I mean, the actions of that man proved to be solid. Okay. So now in this situation, we can't try to outweigh what we see because all we see is Rem messing up. All we see is Rem upset. You see what I'm saying? It's like all she got to do is just chill and just say, oh, okay, let me focus on my career and what I got going on. I don't have to make none of this public, but I feel like she wants to make it public because she feel like she messed up and the public is out to get her. And then when you don't want to take accountability, when you don't want to say, damn, I'm wrong, then you're going to stand and act like how Remy is acting. It's just surprising to me to see all these women stand up for Remy, stand up for Meg Thee Stallion, stand up for, what's the other chick, Cassie, stand up for all of these people that put themselves in these situations, lied about the details, and then expect sympathy. Right. So that's what I feel about that.
My take on it is like, I guess, when we talk about red flags or whatever, and we talk about a dude staying with the child's mom and all of that, it's usually a matter of selection. Like, did I select the individual that I'm dealing with? So if you selected the individual that you're dealing with, and you choose to marry them and so forth and all those things, you've already decided, okay, this is who I want, so let's work on this. And then there's some type of connection that we have that supersedes, relationship norms. You know what I mean?
Say that again, is somewhat.
There's a connection that we have that supersedes relationship norms.
You think so?
I know so. So
what do you mean by that specifically?
All right.
You're saying that they have a connection that supersedes Remy and Pap. That supersedes relationship norms.
You chose, well, listen to what I'm saying.
Because they're ratchet, so for
listen
them,
to what,
that
listen
works.
to what I'm, listen to what
That's
I'm saying.
not the norm
Listen to what
or
I'm
not
saying.
how people should
Listen to what I'm saying.
But that
I'm talking
works.
You
right
said
now.
from Remy and
I'm
Pap,
listening. Hold on. I'm talking. This is off of my point. So let me finish my point, y'all.
Go.
So what I'm saying is, you're in a relationship. I don't know. Everybody's different. So let's just, just understand everybody's different. But you're in a relationship. You're dealing with whatever your relationship is, whatever that is. And you're in a relationship that supersedes relationship norms. These are societal constructs that society put out there. This is how a wife is supposed to be. This is how a husband is supposed to be, whatever. But when you make it work, like we talked about those 70-year relationships or those 25-year marriages or whatever, when you're in a situation and it works, there's something that you guys have, listen to this, there's something that you guys have that supersedes, or it fucking normal relationship norms don't apply to this situation because we figured our shit out. Worry about yourself, like Erica was saying earlier. But we see it in the forefront, so we can scrutinize it because we can see it for what it really is. We can see the issues and the ills that come from this type of relationship, but they don't see it because they're in it. They think that it's working out for them. This dude waited for this woman to get out of prison, you know what I mean, and then tried to continue a life with her, started a business with her and things like that, you know what I mean. So you're all the way in. You're thinking that she's all the way in, but she's not. You know what I mean? So it's like somebody doesn't understand how the relationship norms, the construct of that actually apply to what you're in. And sometimes we learn too late because we're blinded by love. It's nothing wrong with like being like the dude in the Notebook, I guess, in some cases. It's nothing wrong with being Russell Wilson in some cases, I guess, right? If you win, if you get the right one, if you actually get your happily ever after. But for men, there's really no room for the hopeless romantic because we're so focused on our business acumen and trying to push ourselves for our legacy and things like that. So we're not looking at romance, sweep you off your feet, things like that. You know what I mean?
Can I ask you specifically, where do you think, both of y'all, I want to ask y'all, where do y'all think that Pap went wrong in this situation?
Well, Pap went wrong in some of the things that she said. Like I said, as men, we're moving in a certain direction, so we're not really thinking about it. Like, yeah, I wanted this woman, I got this mermaid out the ocean, made her my wife and all that other shit, you know what I mean? Now, I gotta figure out how to sustain her. What are her needs? What are her emotional wants? And am I adhering to that? Because these are things that women say all the time. Oh, he's not emotionally available. Like, he's here, but he's not present. All that bullshit.
So you think that was the problem?
Well, yes. In some aspect, I believe that could have been some of the issues because she says what some of her issues are. He says what some of his issues are. Her shit was she wanted attention. She wanted to feel more love. Like for us, we're thinking, shit, going to the jail every day to see you and get in a house that's closer to the prison so I can be there for you. That's showing a lot. But like some women, their emotions, like we've always talked about, their emotions supersede logic. I'm gonna say supersede a lot tonight. So their emotions are over logic. Okay. You know what I mean? So they're gonna really go to that. Like, this is how I feel. But this is how I feel. I'm not getting into feelings.
But hold on. The question was where you felt like Pap. Before we go too far
down. He said that in the beginning.
Yeah, I know. He answered already. But before we go too far down that rabbit hole, I want to know what E thinks. Where you think that Pap went wrong.
That's why I made that a point. Yeah. Oh, okay. That why would you date? Just like if I'm currently with you and you get in it, especially I don't even date guys my age anyway. So if you at a certain age and if you made a mistake in the past, people could change and turn their life around. But if you currently, I'm dating you now and you getting, especially for shooting somebody and it wasn't self-defense, or whatever. I think they said it was because the friend owed her some money or something or whatever. If you crashing out doing like, and I'm supposed to be, it's worse for a woman because you supposed to be leading me. How you gonna lead me down the wrong path if I
That
follow
connection is
somebody
called
that,
trauma bonding.
that
Absolutely.
yeah,
Somebody
but
said
but
that
he
in the
said,
comments. That's
yeah, that
that's
is
true.
trauma, and we do it to a certain extent. I like men. Okay, emotionally unavailable to a certain extent. They might be still in tune to a certain degree, but it's not like I feel like if they're really masculine, then most of that. The way they express their emotion is cut off. They're a little disconnected, and maybe those work relationships don't work the best. But I like a masculine man. I don't want a man that I could tell what to do and boss him around, and that's always gonna say yes to me just because. Like I could have him wrapped around my finger. That turns me off. If I notice that when I'm getting to know you, that I can like get you to do whatever I want, then I wouldn't even be interested.
So you don't equate that as love. You don't think a man that will do anything
I wouldn't
for
get
you.
to that point.
Hold on.
I didn't say do anything
not
for
where
it, 'cause
you got
sometimes
to. I'm
women
just saying.
will ask for things that could be to the detriment
Right.
of the relationship. Like you
Right.
spending up all the bread instead of him doing boundary and saying, listen, this is allocated for this. Don't spend up all this because we still got to do X, Y, and Z
But
or
that-
whatever. And he looking about what's best for the future. But if you're a man that don't have a backbone
That's
or whatever
leadership.
and you just let her, that's a problem.
That's leadership.
But if I know
What
I
I'm
could do
saying
it, I
is-
wouldn't even get that far.
What I'm saying is.
I didn't say it's not love.
Hold on.
Some people do love that.
One second.
But not me.
What I'm saying is, if you're in a relationship with a guy, right, and you love him, he loves you, right? He takes care of the household. He might not do it in a way where you respect, but he takes care of the household. At what point do you say, okay, this isn't enough? Even though he's taking care of the household, even though he's doing what he's supposed to be doing, like you said, you don't want a man that you feel like you could walk all over. What if he is that guy that he loves you so much that you
we
basically
wouldn't get to love because if I feel like you're a pushover,
Mhm.
then I don't feel like you can protect me. Because if I could walk all over you, you're probably gonna let men walk all over you. And I don't want you going to jail or getting in trouble, but there may be a situation where you might need to you might gotta defend us or something. I wouldn't put you in that. I don't go and cause problems, but sometimes things might happen. If I don't feel like you're supposed to protect me, you're the man. You're supposed to protect me. If I don't feel like you're capable of doing that, it wouldn't get to love because I would stop it because I could. That's
So
easy
let's
to
say,
read.
so let's say outside of you, you've never seen him act that way with anybody else besides you. So you know this man loves you, but you could literally tell him to fucking jump up and down and on one leg, and he would do that shit because he loves you so much. So how do you navigate now where outside of that he could protect you, but you can literally control him because he loves you so much?
I think that's the struggle that men have. Like some women, they could be the Achilles heel. I feel like I've experienced a guy where they like wouldn't normally act that way, but because he began to care about me, then but it's like I don't, like I said, I want you to that's what a man is supposed to do. They're supposed to be able to separate their emotions even when like if I'm trying to tell you to do some crazy
in the comments. That's not love because a man first. I'm chain of command after God. I love that.
Solid.
I love that.
I respect that. And and I agree 100%. I believe it's chain of command, and that's probably what she was saying in her own.
But some men aren't good leaders.
Some
men aren't good leaders.
And that's what I'm saying. I would want to be with a man that I can lead.
But sometimes a man does need a strong woman that has good influence. Like this is why women's emotion is important. Because women can see things that we don't see in ourselves sometimes.
Facts.
We overlook those things because we're so focused on, what we consider to be our priority. So we may lose sight of who we are, just trying to make sure that we make ends meet. So the woman is there to say, hey baby, remember how you used to paint like that back in the day, you know what I mean? And get you back on your square, and then got one of your pieces that you've done, send that shit to Etsy or something like that. And now you making bread on the back end, and you don't even know that she got you out there. Now you got an art exhibit, or you got, you know what I mean? Something, you know what I mean? It's all types of ways that we can help each other, but we got to see the value in it. And like the brother said earlier, it's a trauma bond. You know what I mean? You're dealing with somebody that has kind of the same type of social constraints as you have, and you guys connect, but it still doesn't mean you have to tolerate abuse. It still doesn't mean you have to tolerate feeling less than. You know what I mean? But y'all gotta communicate with each other. And I think you in a relationship with somebody, you held them down while they went to jail, and then they get out. I don't know. Like I told you this before. I don't know if Pap didn't cheat on her or not. I don't know that. I don't care what nobody say. I don't know that. Neither do they. We don't know that. Only they know that. But if they dealt with it and kept it under wraps, and she was on her little reality show, upping her man, and he was upping her on the radio shows and all of that, they showed like what love could look like if we work on it. It takes work. Maybe you gotta go to counseling or something like that. But you take those steps. Y'all married. This ain't no game. So y'all got kids involved and everything. Like y'all gotta work on it.
Let me ask you something based on what you said.
Yeah, and that's the problem when you get into situations like that.
Right quick before I forget my point. Like, what do you like? You're saying that you don't know if Pat cheated on.
We going back to that. Go ahead.
On Remy, but you don't know if Remy cheated on Pat. You don't know what she was doing. If Remy is by, and she was in jail, good. You see what I'm saying? That could change the whole argument.
Who said that?
I'm just saying. Allegedly, we don't know. Just like he doesn't know if Pap cheated, we don't know what Remy was doing in jail too. He's cheating
now because they're still married.
I mean, they're both openly cheating. In a relationship. If somebody, if my wife,
but that doesn't.
Hold on, E. I'm just talking about how my logic, like I think, right? If me and E is married, right, and we go through a separation and a divorce, right? If we're on a separation and let's say I'm in the media and she's in the media, she got her career, I got my career, right? I don't say nothing. I'm not in the what's the name. I don't talk about the situation. Nothing. If E goes online and decides to bash me for whatever reason, I could retaliate. Just because she comes and does that. Is it right? Probably not, because two wrongs don't make a right. But am I justified? That's the difference. Yes, you're justified because you can defend yourself. Nobody's just like, look at Tory. Tory's jammed up because he didn't defend himself and say, yo, I know exactly her homegirl shot me and yada, yada, yada. And then if he would have did that, guess what? He would have been wrong. He would have been, he's stupid. He doesn't defend black women and yada, yada, yada.
What changed the dynamic is family, wife, duty.
Yeah, 100%.
That changes it.
100%.
So it's like without,
and he don't even get credit for that.
Without that, with Tory's situation, it's just him just doing something. It's just stupid. It's just stupid.
It's not stupid, bro.
It's just stupid.
That's the narrative. That's the narrative.
If that was my wife, or that was my baby mother,
it's not stupid.
I have every reason to take the L for her and defend her. It's not about her being a black woman or anything like that. Because if she is a black woman and standing up for black men, then I wouldn't have been in that situation.
Her being a mother. Hold on.
Took that gun away. It don't matter about her being a mother. It's not my.
Yes, it does.
Child.
So
it don't matter.
For people who don't understand,
you're not gonna give me a conceit with that.
I'm not saying this for you. This is for the people listening. For people that don't understand. Tory and his mother, you know what I mean? Tory and his mother had a rocky relationship. I think she passed, if I'm not mistaken, right? So what Tory said, this is all alleged, but what Tory said was, no, I'm not gonna sit here and be the reason why this mother gets taken away from her child, and then my mother was taken away from me in similar circumstances. Like, nah, I'm not gonna continue this. And that's why I said that's honorable. I can't sit back and be like, oh, nah, he a lame because he wasn't about self-preservation. Because the last time I heard self-preservation is really a female trait. You see what I'm saying? Like, men are the niggas that crash out and protect are supposed to crash out and regardless. So all I'm saying is to say that he was dumb for that action. I don't agree with, because at the end of the day, that's more self-preservation, and self-preservation over your morals is why niggas get jammed up
Bullshit.
and get caught up in the Diddy shit. That's all I'm saying.
You're not going to jail for nobody.
I'm just saying, you should be able
You're
to
not
go
going
to
jail for nobody.
You should be able
You're
to
not
go
going
to jail.
OD is not going to jail for nobody.
Bro, I'm not
OD
saying.
OD is not going to jail for nobody. Answer that.
Look.
Yes or no? Are you?
I don't know. I'll go to jail for
Don't
my
say I
daughter.
don't know.
Matter of fact, no. I'll go to jail for my daughter. I'll
That's
go to
your
jail.
daughter.
I'll go to jail for my
Exactly.
parents. I'll go to jail
Family.
for my love. My
Family.
loved ones, 100%.
Honor.
And I'll go to jail.
Duty.
And I'll go to jail for my
That's
morals.
different.
And I'll go to jail for
not
my
that.
morals. If I see a little kid getting raped, you think I'm just gonna chill? No, I'm gonna take
That's
that
a good
nigga
question,
out.
but we
I'm
not
gonna
talking
take that
about
nigga
that.
out.
No.
And then guess what?
But-
If I
but
go
with
to
this-
jail,
with this
guess
with
what?
This situation that
Guess
we
what?
talking
If I go
about,
to jail, I'm
going
gonna
to
stand on it. I'm just saying, I didn't say I would. You know why? I said Tory did.
But why not? Because that's what I'm asking you. You're saying for your
Let me tell
daughter,
you.
you're moving
Let me
to
tell
somewhere
you.
else. I'm asking you that.
I have
specifically.
look. I have my mother in my life, and my mother is a little bit more selfish
you're
than
you're
Tory.
dancing
Than Tory.
around.
I'm not. I'm
You
trying to
don't
answer.
wanna
You're not trying to
you
let
don't
me
wanna say
speak.
yes or no.
I'm trying to answer, and you're
But
not trying to let me
I'm just
speak.
saying. I'm just saying.
Let me
I'm just
say
saying
it.
for that point.
Let me answer.
For that point.
Let me
We
answer.
know-
You can say
but
whatever you want.
But I'm finishing because you're kind of moving around.
Now I'm moving around.
But let
I
me
can't
just say
answer
this.
the question.
I'm gonna just say this. With that being said, we know that nobody's really just gonna take the fall for anybody. We just know that. But here's the situation. You're also taking the fall for a situation that somebody put you in a situation and now you fucked up. And it's a fucked up situation because now everybody's pointing at you as a bad guy and you didn't even, it's not even your fault. So all the moral shit, oh yeah, this, that a mother gonna be without her child, fuck it. He could, if he really feel bad, get that kid some bread. But there ain't no reason for you to risk your freedom because this chick crashed out. You know what I mean? And if you're gonna do that, I'm gonna tell all the young men out there that's stupid. Don't ever do no dumb shit like that. That's stupid. I'm never gonna teach a son that. I'm never gonna teach my brother that. I'm never gonna teach no young men growing up that that's okay. It's not. It's not okay. We do protect women, but we also uphold right. You know what I mean? And righteousness. And we're gonna move in that manner and stay focused.
So you don't think he's right and righteous?
No, it's not right. If you did something stupid like that, nigga, that's dumb. That's dumb as fuck.
What did he
fucked
do?
Up.
Not say
He took the fall. He took the fall for somebody that tried to fuck him over. That's why it's not good. And now everybody looking at you like you did something wrong. If you did that shit, you're dumb, bro.
How did Kelsey try to fuck him over?
She shot at this chick and then acting like, oh, nah, it wasn't me. It wasn't me. Now I'm in jail. Nobody gonna confess to that. Everybody just gonna have to eat that. I get stabbed 14 times. All of this shit is happening because he made what you think is a great moral decision. You know what I mean? That's crazy as fuck, yo. He got kids too, don't he? Now his kids ain't got no father. You know what I mean? Like, what the fuck? Like, you make it make sense.
People like this.
Make it make sense, bro.
If you're, hold on, let me
go ahead. But then after you go with your point, we gotta address what Hector said in the comments because he said a joke.
All right, so check this out. Say you're in a relationship, right? And something happens in your relationship tied to the woman that you rocking with, right? You decide to defend her because nobody else is gonna do it, and not only that, the person in her life is disrespectful to you as well. So there's two factors. One, yeah, this is her baggage, but two, this person is crashing out and bringing making threats to you. So now you feel like, okay, I gotta handle the situation. As a man, you know, hey, this shit could get mixy. As a business owner, you know that, okay, I don't want to be connected with certain things. I'm gonna have to handle this a different way, right? There's many hats that you could take. You feel me? All I'm saying is if you take the hat of, I'm not gonna fight this person, I'm gonna say, I'm gonna get out of there. If you take that hat, then you run the risk of, oh, he a bitch. He ran away. He didn't even defend his girl. He ran off because of a dude, right? If you take the fighting, you may be licensed to carry. And then, you know what I'm saying? and it go bad, and you might have to do him in. You see what I'm saying? There's all these factors in this story. All I'm saying is this: if he saw something that he had to go through and experience personally, right? That's why it's hard for me to have the same mentality that he did, because I had my mother. I had my mom, nigga. I can't act like I didn't have my mom and act like I could relate with a person that didn't have their mom, because I had that. You see what I'm saying? So for me to put myself in his shoes wouldn't be accurate. Like, people that don't have their mom, and for whatever circumstances, whether it be some street shit, some drug shit, some whatever, it's different when they see that they're doing the same thing to somebody, especially when he's at that level. Like, Tory Lanez is probably smart enough to understand that he's a big influence to these fucking kids. You see what I'm saying? He's a big influence to all of his fans. So what he does and why he does it matters. And I understand that you're saying that, you know, it was a dumb decision, because it was a selfish, it wasn't a selfish decision. At the end of the day, if he put himself in harm's way, right, to defend something that he believes in, we could at least acknowledge that and be like, okay, because you wouldn't do it. Like you said, you feel like it was stupid. You wouldn't put yourself in a situation where, even though morally it made sense to you, you don't feel like, because morally it doesn't make sense to anybody else, it's stupid, right? So you wouldn't put yourself in that situation. So we could at least acknowledge the people that would put themselves in that situation and say, look, this is what I believe in. I'm not doing this to continue certain things. I'm trying to change it. That's, to me, that's the equivalent of somebody breaking a generational curse in a family. Like, yeah, I know how this could end, and I could be a part of it and be self-preservation, but fuck that. I'm just gonna do what I feel like is right in my heart. And I can't get mad at that nigga for that. That's all I'm saying.
I ain't mad at him. I just think
Is that what he said he did, or you?
Allegedly. That's what he said. His reasons was, after the information came out that he didn't really shoot her friend did.
Hector Rodriguez put, a woman recognizes a man for what he stands for. If she gets involved and in time she peeps he's weak, she was not focused. She was not focused, bro. That right there speaks volumes. Remember, time will always expose. Absolutely.
That applies with Remy.
Absolutely.
That applies with Megan. That applies with a lot of women that's in the what's the name. Because when we hear this Cassie situation, we're hearing more and more details that's come out by the minute. Like, this is why it has so much coverage in the media, is because people are really... What's up, kitty cat? Hold on. I'm cooking.
You gotta focus, bro.
Yeah, exactly. Made me forget my whole thought, too. See the pussy? See what the pussy do? How you fucked up out here, yo. That's crazy, yo. But all I'm saying is, with the Meg situation, with Remy's situation, with situations like that, it's like, sometimes the woman has to be the bigger person. And just say, you know what, I'd rather make myself look better and not say it at all. And you know, the type of woman that I respect is Dreka Gates. Dreka Gates, you'll see Kevin Gates, her estranged husband, do all this wild stuff, be with a whole nother woman, and there's not one shade room post. There's not one Vlad interview. There's not one Breakfast Club interview. There's not one Drink Champs with just Dreka airing his ish out. And it's like, for some women, I know it has to be like, yo, she must be some type of pick-me, or she must be, I think she's just solid. I think she's just a solid woman, and that is an example of how to conduct yourself when you don't want people definitively in your shit. You don't say nothing.
And that's why I said they shouldn't be airing their dirty laundry.
You're
on
right,
the internet.
but it's too late. And the reason why I'm giving Remy so much is because she started that. I didn't see not one thing on Pat when they started beefing in their relationship. I didn't hear not one interview, not one anything. He was still posting her on Mother's Day and all that. And this is after she cheated,
in her
allegedly.
defense, right? Because
when she first came out, she was just saying stuff to Clarissa, because Clarissa was
right.
and she said that when she went live. I wasn't saying nothing about
all the other stuff that we acknowledged was just social media going crazy.
Because really, you should have both in check.
You know, because she was going out having dinners with him, and pictures was popping up and shit like that. So stuff like that.
Hold on. Crazy. She said you should tell. How could we? So you're saying if you cheat on me, I'm supposed to tell my new chick that I moved on with to chill out on the internet because you're talking about her?
Well, you shouldn't be posting stuff on the internet anyway. That right there alone. No.
Yes.
Clarissa was
Remy did it first. You got to find that information because like how could Clarissa talk crazy about? I didn't even know Clarissa was with Pap until they started coming out publicly. I didn't know nothing about that. The only reason why I would know that is because Remy cheated first. Remy cheated, and then after she cheated, they try to act like the whole thing wasn't a thing, and then Pap snuffed Easy, and then they try to act like that still wasn't a thing. You see what I'm saying? Because I remember because battle rap, this is when she first got her battle lead together, right? And after she got her battle lead, Pat used to come to the events all the time. He was right there. All of a sudden, he stopped. And then by probably like the second or third one, after he stopped coming, is when you started hearing the rumors about Remy cheating on Pat. You see what I'm saying? There was no information that Clarissa was going in on Remy until after that. You see what I'm saying? And it was after that. So if I know you cheated on me with Easy, you had sex with this man, right? And then you're still having sex with this man, and we're trying to work it out, but it's not working out because you snubbed Easy, and then she's upset. She's audibly upset about him snuffing Easy. You see what I'm saying? Who I'm fucking, you have no jurisdiction on. You can't say nothing. You can't, I feel like, no, you violated me. You violated our union. You can't talk to me about me violating it back and it not being fair. We don't care about fair after that.
I'm not saying that. I'm saying, why are grown adult people posting their business
because
online?
They need their feelings.
That's what I'm saying. Whoever started it, they're all wrong.
You know why?
There's some people that post stuff and the other person don't say nothing that involved. You're right. You never know the other side of the story.
You're right.
But it don't have to happen at all.
But that's
whoever
why
started it wrong and they continue it, they wrong. Because it's not our business.
Right.
And you're setting a bad example because you're 100%. A celebrity that you have influence
kids. You see
on some people that didn't have good influence growing up or no influence growing up. So they look up to these people.
You're right.
Telling them to do this buffoonery, like we shouldn't know what's going on. If it's something like this, we should only know the good thing. People be like, "Oh, that's fake." I know that. It ain't fake. They just showing you the good things. Why do you need to see with the trials and tribulations and all this, especially if you're handling it like children? Because
you know why? Because when you don't take accountability, when you don't say, damn, I was wrong and I should not say anything, when you defend your wrongness, when you defend your lies, when you defend what you know that you shouldn't be defending, but when you do it anyway because you want the public opinion to be in your favor, that's when that happens. That's when it gets messy. That's when people have to pick a side between this person and that person. That's when women don't take accountability for their actions. Because men, as soon as men don't take accountability for their actions, guess what? They're either out of there or the woman is so naive that she's just going to let him do whatever he got to do. You see what I'm saying? It's either or. It's black and white. With a woman, it's different. It's different.
It don't matter why. It needs to stop. Like you said, control your emotions. We don't need to. Or if you can't control it, do it privately. Cause
I feel you. I agree with you 100%. I just think that it gets nasty.
And it's just making black people 100%. Look bad.
100%. And I just think that.
Because the only representation that we got is scandals and stuff with the famous people.
Not see,
that's more publicized. This is what
let me tell you why. There is a dynamic that works in Hollywood, but we don't pay attention to it. The dynamic is one person is famous, and usually the woman isn't. The woman could focus on her marital duties and whatever she got going on that's not in the limelight, and the man could be who he has to be as an artist in the limelight, and that works. It doesn't work outside of that because ego is gonna clash. You see what I'm saying? We know Remy got an ego, and we know Pat got an ego. So now, whose ego is gonna trump whose in this situation? Remy not gonna back down, and Pat not gonna back down. So we see why this. You know what I mean? This type of behavior happens and shit. We see, like,
that type of relationship.
There's no excuse for it, but yeah, 100%.
That type of relationship probably works for them. That's why he with Clarissa Shields. I don't think it's gonna be really that much of a different dynamic.
I think the difference is her respect level for Pat.
Remy not the type you gotta smack her up.
That's what I'm saying.
Clarissa Shields is a female boxer.
Clarissa said
but
herself.
She gonna knock you
Clarissa
out,
Clarissa said out of her own mouth, she likes when a nigga is like super sweet to her and you know what I mean, super nice, because she feels like.
She want to feel like a lady, right?
Exactly.
As tough as she
got the
is,
most
100%.
job, and you want.
I mean, but it is what it is. You can't knock a chick for what she love to do. You can't knock a chick for what she loves.
But she said on the Breakfast Club, she said it's positive. Like boxing is positive. It is. I think it's
a good release. I didn't say it was negative, but that's like a manly.
But like the girl, like they was like, yo, like
is a manly.
You a professional. Like would you go on the baddies? And she was like, yeah, I go on that show. I would.
She keep challenged. Like, she challenged Tasiki.
Yeah, but that was because the fans.
Yeah,
you know, saying the fans just said something and she just responded. Like, you know what I mean? Like as a human.
But
like,
she shouldn't have said nothing about her because now you starting stuff.
Yeah, but
she don't mind fighting any.
That's what I'm saying.
She really like the fight.
That's what I'm saying.
You can't get mad at a chick that like the fight. She like the fight. She's a boxer.
But hold on.
She don't fight whoever.
But see, that's what everybody not saying. Because did you see the Breakfast Club interview?
No.
So you didn't see the Breakfast Club interview. So this is what I'm saying. Like, this is what she's. What is what I'm saying. So you gotta hear from the person that you're accusing of this, and her response is, people are saying this, and you know she probably got a publicist, and she like, I don't care. Like somebody say something, I'm gonna say something. Like shut me up, type of shit. That's how she is. So if you say something and she responds to it, she's not wrong for responding. Like, yeah, there's people that troll and say stuff. I don't respond to it because it's funny to me because I do the same thing on other people, on other people's stuff. So it's not really, you know what I mean? I don't care. It doesn't bother me. But for people that's at that level, we always expect people that's on that level to behave more than what any human would do in that situation. So that's what I'm trying to elaborate on that. Like, okay, she responded to somebody in the comments. Is she wrong for responding to people in the comments?
I didn't say she was wrong or right. I said.
But she brought her up because the fans brought her up.
Yeah, I know that. I'm the one who told you about it.
No, she's the one who said on her interview a couple days ago.
But I already knew. I told you because we got into a debate about it.
Right, but I didn't know. I didn't know that context.
I said someone wrote the fans got them started going back and forth, and but Tasiki didn't say, and Tasiki just agreed like if you pay me this amount, but. She listened to fans, fell for the trap of what they were saying because they just wanted to see y'all go back and forth or whatever.
But
so I didn't say it was wrong or right.
Response. No, but I'm saying but realistically, her response.
Say nothing to you. I feel like you could have responded, but you ain't had to.
It wasn't out of anger. It was just out of like, yo, like if you want to do it, like I mean,
I look at it
if you really believe that you can beat me. Why do you have to do all of that?
It's a
You know what
business
I mean?
move. It's a
If
business
you want to
move.
do it, then we can do it.
You
but
gotta look.
You're gonna lose.
If Jake Paul makes all that money fighting the old, if Jake Paul,
you could have replied.
Hold on, E. If Jake Paul makes a bag wrestling an old Mike Tyson, then I could see the equivalent of Clarissa Shields saying, "I will bop one of these baddies for a bag." That makes sense to me. That's a lucrative deal. I would want to fight one of these baddies that people think that could really fight and then prove that, yo, you really couldn't fight. But, you know what I mean? You put up a good fight and we can get this bag together. If you don't put up a good fight, then, you know, that should be an example for the other baddies. Yeah, y'all can fight, but y'all not, like, really exactly, and there should be a difference.
She was like, if I do it, if you pay me this amount, and I gotta spar and train first. Like,
I mean, I'll give her her flowers.
She got heart,
but she also said Ivory too. I don't know if Ivory was fine. That's another chick up there that like.
She said she would prefer on Breakfast Club. She said she would prefer to go with another girl because she seems like she could really fight. I think she said Ivory.
Yeah, Ivory.
I think she said her.
They both on baddie. Tasiki is Krishan Rock's sister.
Yeah, she said she probably would prefer to fight her because she bigger. She bigger and she probably got more. Yeah. She probably got more fighting experience, kinda.
But I wouldn't pay
that's what I'm saying. I mean, I definitely wouldn't pay to see that because it's definitely a mismatch. But
here to what's in
I wouldn't really even want to really see it though because
somebody gonna want to see it.
It's
their fans
woman
together
basically beating on another woman or punishing another woman because she not gonna be able to hit this girl because she know how to block and she know how to move out of the way and all that other stuff. So she gonna be tearing her up
in both of those pictures.
Yeah, she got some nice size to her, but
she look like
Clarissa Shields, the girl that she just beat, was bigger than her.
Yeah, I know she was 6'2".
Right, so
she got some curves too, bro.
That's what I'm saying. And I don't be wanting to see women that look good. I don't be wanting to see them fight.
Yeah, me too. Me too. That is the one thing about women's boxing I don't like, because some of these females.
A pretty girl getting beat up.
Alicia Baumgartner, she fire, yo.
She got a thick neck.
Yeah, I was trying to find the picture to show you.
Who we talking about? Her?
Ivory. That's the other girl.
Damn.
You
funny as hell.
No, she does. I was trying to find because you can't see it in the other picture. And she don't need to be. Somebody said
she might go fight. She got a neck for fighting.
Her and Tasiki is the best ones up there. The best when it comes to fighting because them other chicks.
She from Nebraska?
Nah,
I'm about to say that's different. I didn't know they had baddies out there.
That's where the good fighters from.
Omaha, Nebraska. Nigga, that's where Terrence Crawford is from.
Yo, I'm telling you, man.
Oh shit.
I think what's his name? Brock Lesnar from there too.
Brock Lesnar. I like him.
His son a wrestler too.
Is he from Nebraska? Nah, Terrence Crawford is from Akron, Ohio, right?
Yeah, he from Ohio.
I don't know where he from. My bad, Terrence. Don't beat me up, cuz.
He'll only fight you for the bag, bro.
Yeah, true. Control Rock.
See, I don't like the little one, but she's beautiful though.
She's beautiful, but she shouldn't be out here getting beat up by no boxer.
Yeah.
Sit your ass down.
So. Well, that's why the fan said that because she knocks somebody too foul like that girl.
But I'm saying it's alright. You knocking chicks too foul, but she a different breed. And then also, this nigga Charlemagne said, "Yo, would you box with a woman with would you fight with him with no gloves on?" He's like, he was like, yo, you must really not like these girls, like really, like. I'm a professional boxer, a champion. I haven't been beaten yet in my craft. And you want me to not have no gloves. Gloves is protection for the boxers. If we didn't have, I would never do bare knuckle. I would never do bare knuckle boxing for the safety of myself and for the safety of the person that I'm fighting. Like somebody could die.
Easy.
You know what I mean? The gloves, they got weight to them. It's a little bit of cushion. Yeah, you get bopped around a little bit. But you usually recover. The only thing, the CTE, you know what I mean? Banging your brain around in your skull. Like, you know what I mean? That's never too good. But you know, keep your hands up.
Yep.
You know what I mean? And that's all you got. That's all you got. But at the end of the day, a boxer fighting an untrained let's just say any discipline. If you're disciplined in some type of fighting style, it's a deadly game for anybody to challenge you.
That's true.
Their hands are lethal
That's
weapons.
why she shouldn't be challenging people because somebody said
She not challenging people, but she making it like he said. She going after the bag. Yeah. So it's like
that's challenging.
But that's different. If it's a contract and all of that, and all of those things are taken into consideration, hey, it's on you.
And who said what
person,
first?
You big and bad. You so bad.
Somebody in the comments said something, and then she responded to
right.
a fan in the comments. Them
that
chicks
was,
on baddie
that was,
never said nothing to her.
So that was before.
I was needing to respond.
Okay.
So the baddie responded to that.
Oh, okay.
But I don't know if Ivory did. I only seen Tasiki. I don't know if Ivory said it.
They don't want that problem.
Yeah, I don't think she want that problem either.
They gonna talk their way out of it.
But then again, Smiley, you never know. Like for a bag, bro, and they fight all the time.
They don't know. These people, the people that really fight or really like that, they don't be fighting like that. They only fight because something really happened, like somebody did something. Most of the season, like they did get into fights, but it was other people fighting.
That girl fight. She could fight.
Yeah, but I'm saying she don't do that all the time. She not. Like you know what I'm saying? Because she do it for a real reason.
I understand.
Not just because she wants.
You could tell she scraps a lot. You don't get that type of experience from not scrapping a lot. Like she could fight, and Tuskegee, I don't know.
Because they just ratchet. They both chicks from the hood.
I've only seen Tuskegee sister fight. I haven't seen her fight.
It was like Tuskegee Krishan got these two girls to jump her on baddie, her friend, and that's her sister. And then she fought them separately. She was like, "I need a rematch."
That's wild.
And she beat them both up.
That's crazy.
But then they were no match for her either. They didn't know.
That's why she let them.
And Krishan's that wrong for that.
And street fighting is like it's a different realm. Like you saw Rocky 5, yo. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Like it's different. Like if you grab somebody, flip them over, you know what I mean? You could it ain't no rules, like, you know what I mean?
You up,
and so and then once you get them down and you able to get yourself in a situation where they can't do anything, it's over. It's really over at that point. You know what I mean? People done got their arms broke, fingers broke, their toes broke, their foot broke, or unalive type, you know what I mean? Like all different types. So street fighting is a dangerous game if you really do have a skill set. If you don't know what you're doing and you just rumbling, you just swinging, just hoping something connect, you could get dangerous. I mean, you could hurt yourself or hurt somebody else.
That's true. Jamaica.
So,
what up?
Somebody was watching Final Destination
at the movie theater.
In Argentina, though, right?
That's where it was.
Yeah.
How you know? It said that as a thing.
Yeah.
You lying, Chris.
You don't believe me?
Cause
it just seemed like you lying the way you move and
I'm not lying.
And you put that sinister.
It wasn't nobody. It wasn't nowhere close to America.
Oh, okay. But it's just crazy though.
It only fell on her. Nobody else was in there.
I don't know. I just see I see the article that it happened, and I was like, wow.
And it was a screening too, so she could have been somebody that worked.
Yo, but you know what? You know what that just made me think about? Like you remember the last one? Remember the one that where there was like it happened in the mall? There really was an accident in the mall while they was watching the movie.
Spirits, bro. I try to put it in the what's the name in the chat, And I was like, yo, some of these movies, like, there was real.
I mean, you know
witches,
what? I can't even argue with you. I can't even argue with you about it.
That
because
hocus
they had
that
the movie Poltergeist with the little girl when she was looking at the TV.
And people died in that movie. It's like, yo,
they was talking about a lot of different movies, Exorcist,
bro.
A lot of movies. They said that things have happened, and a lot of people said that some of these sets were haunted, and especially Amityville, or all the tragedies that happened at the Amityville house in
Heath
history.
Ledger died on the set of Batman.
Mm-hmm.
I think, was it Batman?
I don't even know if it was on the set, but he definitely.
He was
like
he had wrote a note though, didn't he? Didn't he write a suicide note?
Or some Joker shit. And this is what I'm trying to say, bro. And this is what I'm trying to say, bro.
He got too into his role.
Not too into his nothing. Something got into him.
He was
something got into him, bro. Pause. Like it wasn't no physical.
He went too deep. Pause.
It wasn't no physical. Like this shit was demonic. Like I truly believe that.
Yeah, but you seen the movie In Too Deep?
Yeah.
With Omar Epps?
Yeah.
It's like that. It's just being like so caught up into your. What you mean? This is what we talking about. And you get so caught up. But listen what I'm saying. You understand? Like hold on. Okay. So you have your because your belief is a spiritual.
No, I understand.
But I'm
that
saying,
you're saying that he got caught up into the life, even though that wasn't really his life.
Into the role that you get so deep into this role, like Deep Cover. There's so many movies that they made like that where they got so caught up into that role, they lost who they were in that role.
Right.
But that's what I'm saying. Other actors have said that. They said they would never play a role like that again. Even Terrence Howard recently said it in one of his things. He said, I could never play that role of the dude from Empire. You know what I mean? Because
you embody the spirit.
You become that character.
Exactly. You embody the spirit.
So now, like playing this person, portraying this, doing so much research, trying to become that person. The Jeffrey Dahmer series, like dude, like all that stuff that you have to do and who you have to become this monster.
And that's all
you know
I'm
what I mean,
bro.
That's gonna internalize, right? Subconsciously,
what you're
on a conscious level.
What you're talking about is
internalize
is forces that's not your forces.
Okay.
How is that not possession? If there are forces that were outside of you or that are now inside of you, and now you think this way, you think you are these forces, or you think you are this person, even if it's a role, even if you're an actor, and you know what I'm saying, like you're gonna physically change.
Our mind couldn't take the trauma.
But this is what hold on.
Okay.
Once you physically change, bro, it's because you've given access to be internalized.
Okay.
Pause. You've been. It's like this is why I say consent is so real. There's a difference between a person that
That's why
says
we have it on Sunday.
Sunday not even a Sabbath. Sunday is for the sun. Helios Biblos, but that's
Preach.
different. Here nor there, right? All I'm saying is what was I saying? Damn. Right before that part. What was you talking about?
You're talking about the role, becoming the role on a psychological level versus becoming a role on a spiritual level.
Okay. So the reason why I say spirit is there is forms of spirit that isn't what we think it is, right? So there is spirits in alcohol. That's why they call wine spirits. They call alcohol spirits, right? There is school spirit, team spirit. Spirit is literally the life that personifies what you believe in and how you operate. That's spirit, right? That's why there's good spirits, there's bad spirits. There's spirits that's just here for bad. And we're not going to call them demonic because then that goes into spirituality. We're just talking about the word spirit and how it applies to these people who have characters. Let's say Donnie Brasco, right? Since we're talking into deep, Donnie Brasco, for people that didn't know, he was an undercover agent, and then he was basically in control. Well, he was sent in some mafia stuff to bring down some mafia activity, right? So the reason why this is so connected is, if you think about it, people do fall victim to what they choose to be around, and that's the consent. That's the, like, okay, I'm willing to devote my life to do this, whatever it takes, right? That is to me, that is a ritual. It's like a signed agreement that whatever I have to do to be this person, I'm going to be that person. The cost of that ritual is who you become. So when I say possession, I could say obsession and possession is what I mean, right? Like, you're obsessed at getting the job done no matter what, that you also forgot that the no matter what still applies. The no matter what is what we call your consent. Now it's like, because you want to be this character for so much, that you are willing to sacrifice what you don't believe in to be that person. And that's what happened.
Let me throw you a curveball. Did you see? Well, if you didn't see it, then I can't throw it to you. Did you see the new Final Destination?
They said they think.
All right, never mind. I can't throw you.
They said what?
Good Soul 222 says true, but I think that only applies to males. And he also said breathe.
About what?
What only applies to males? Good Soul 222.
30 the
and
new,
hit the like
30
button.
30 the new 20.
Oh, word.
Mm-hmm.
That's dope.
Said that only applies to males.
Okay.
The what?
30 is the new 20, only applies to males.
Oh, that's hilarious.
But is that a compliment or is that an insult?
Hit the like button if you're watching.
Because you gotta think about it. Okay.
Just like it and keep it pushing, bro. Like, you know what I'm saying? It don't even matter.
If,
he tuned in. You know what I'm saying? There's an energy that we're giving off that they're tuned into.
What do you think
about
that? What do you think about 30 as a new 20?
Regardless of what they're
only
doing.
Applies to males. What do you think about that?
Well, first of all, I think it's a male that would say that.
There's no picture.
I know, but I'm just saying based off of why he said that, because
we don't know why.
Okay, well, I think
right.
based off of him making that comment, that not only that he's a male, but the reason why he says that applies to just males is because I think a woman depends on her beauty. It's more about how she looks. So if she looks like she's young, then it don't matter. You see what I'm saying? But if she looks like she's old, then, you know what I'm saying, people gonna laugh at that 30 is the new 20, whatnot.
Well, our prime is 30. Their prime might be 20. 25.
Yeah, but there's a reason for that. Because if you think about it, it's like men probably live more stressful lives. So for us to be more visibly aged is supposed to be normal. Like, but for us to, like, I see what that person is saying, because usually it is that way. I feel like maybe that's why, you know, we're the seeders of this planet, is because we have the energy and we give them the energy. You dig? That shit look good as fuck. I ain't gonna hold you.
I got this from Fresh Market.
I believe you. That shit look fresh as fuck.
Orange.
It's juicy.
What else we got for the Memorial Day special, bro?
Well, Boss Man D-Lo.
Oh, man.
He been found with a tranny, allegedly.
That's crazy.
No. Supposedly.
Said, no.
Supposedly there's 4.
4?
Allegedly.
A quadruple. What is that?
Yo, we got men. Okay, so we got men winning right now. We got men losing right now. We got Neil that had a special clause put out for
his 3 women.
His 4 women.
He
now.
got 4.
Yeah,
damn.
He had a clause put out that
his best life.
if they cheat, they have $1 million fine.
Oh,
right,
snap!
In their contract, and if they want to leave, they have to give him $500,000.
Wow! And they all signed it. Wow!
In a perfect world, right?
I mean, in Neil's world, apparently.
Only time.
And they still coming at him. They still coming from, oh, he's trying to hide his sexuality.
I don't care what they say about him, as long as the females that signed that contract ain't say nothing about it. Cause
then there's
from the outside looking in, he looked like he went in that light.
Another thing that's going on. So like in the sports world,
what happened?
Caitlin Clark. And
that's a female basketball.
Angel Reese,
yeah.
And Angel Reese had a game, and there was like a little roughhousing. There was a flagrant call.
So,
and
they always put in
bring rough basketball back.
They made it.
Bring rough basketball back.
I mean, this is WNBA.
I would love to see them scrap.
They made it.
I bet you their ratings will go up.
They made it seem like it was like a racial thing, instead of it just being like just basketball.
Who? The media or them?
Well, that's what they always do when it's black and white.
They said that there's always something like because of that, or they weren't gonna call the foul, or you know, and they had something. I mean, let these girls play basketball.
Who was winning?
I didn't see the game.
Of course. You didn't see that shit.
Nothing against the WNBA. You guys are keep doing what you do, man. You guys are doing great. But no, I didn't watch it.
I don't have a starting 5 for none of them teams. But I got players that I like, but it's probably for the wrong reasons.
It's just like wrestling.
Exactly.
Like women wrestling is like, man, you know, you gotta move, you got a special.
Nah, I like women wrestling more now. I feel like Rhea Ripley, Jade Cargill, all them is daddies. Like they're like the top women. I feel like they're more popping in the
you're
dudes.
not watching them to watch them fight. You
exactly
watching them because of how they look.
But they fighting skills is cool too. I like they're talented. You could tell somebody who's like athletic versus somebody who really isn't. And they be busting ass. Her, what's the girl name? Bianca Belair.
Don't start me to lie.
The Japanese something Sky.
I watched. You know what I was watching? I watched.
She Chinese. I don't know. Japanese.
What's his name?
Jay Uso.
Jay Uso. All right. So he's the new Rock, I guess.
Nigga say he's Old Rock still there. That's his family in there.
Old Rock is there. He's known as the.
I seen him in the
final
Elvis
boss.
I seen him in the casino shirt. I was like, yo, he really trying to be Old Rock, like.
Yo, it's crazy because when I grew up, when I was a kid watching wrestling, I was like, you know.
Mm-hmm.
It was dope when I was a kid, like, but then like when I started to learn that it was fake, then
it's like
I started to lose interest. But the game was fun. I love the games.
Yeah.
But like going to see it and stuff like that died when the Coliseum left. And I was fortunate to have the opportunity to go to the Coliseum at least once in my childhood to experience like a wrestling event. Dope. So that was pretty awesome to be able to see that.
Some bullshit wings from Wingstop.
Why did you say that? What happened?
Because it's processed chicken and I know it.
It may be too salty.
Yeah, and I had them put the Cajun salt on it, so I love that shit. I was like, this shit's killing me. I know it is. I need to I ain't eating nothing for the rest of the day.
Drink lemon water.
For real. You got some lemon water for me?
Yeah, I've been having smoothies like
for real? You about to get it?
Yo.
You solid. Yeah.
I've been making some blazing ass smoothies. And I think that's the problem. They taste too good. Like I gotta make smoothies that's like.
See, this is why you need to have good friends around.
But I've been working out though.
This is why you need to have good friends around you. They talk about working out. They talk about drinking lemon water. And, you know what I'm saying? This is who you need to have around you. If you around a whole bunch of niggas that drink soda every day.
Oh yeah, soda.
Man,
I ain't gonna hold you. I like soda, to the idea of soda, but I never really drink it like that, because when I drink soda, I have bad issues.
Exactly.
Because I stopped drinking it so much.
Real
I
shit.
try to drink water. I try to drink a lot of water, but I got somebody that's like a health nut that always be having me with some healthy stuff. So I keep I drink like real, like actual made juice. I don't drink regular juice. Like once in a while, like I might get an Arizona, which is not good, but
Yeah, me too.
I just get it because it's just something to wet my palate. When it's hot and I got allergies real bad, like I gotta like have some type of fluid. And sometimes water is like,
thank you so much.
It's okay, but
I'm about to be purified.
I drink water all
From
the
the
time.
lakes of Minnetonka. Yo.
Oh, let me ask you a question.
That's fire.
Do Dairy Queen still got banana splits?
Don't go to Dairy
I know that's a
Queen.
crazy question.
I don't know.
I don't like.
You never got one?
No. I like
No.
I don't like banana ice cream though.
Yeah. I like bananas, but I don't like things flavored like bananas.
Me too. I don't like flavored banana.
Because the way they make it, it don't even taste
like the banana.
like them Laffy Taffy so nasty.
Yep.
But I'm a work in progress. I'm trying to wean myself off of soda, but it's so hard. I mean, I don't drink it every day.
So Kid Cudi takes the stand, right?
Or lime.
Huh?
I said or lime.
Did you put lime or lemon in there?
I put lemon in that one, but I did lime before too.
Kid Cudi takes the stand or lime.
Kid Cudi's crazy. He said Diddy looked like a super villain.
I believe him though. I could see him. I can
Everybody
picture
was
him
talking about like
standing in the mirror and shit like that. Yo, Diddy really crazy though. Like, you know what I'm saying?
I think these people were all scared of him, and that's why nobody said nothing. He's powerful. Like
people were really being unalive
because
allegedly.
people when they talked about how the Cassie situation,
they had
that
pictures,
documentary, they was crying.
They showed pictures of the car.
I can't like they felt bad for her, but they didn't say nothing because they didn't want to.
They showed pictures of the car in the Kid Cudi testimony.
Yeah, and it was like burn marks. It didn't look like it was blown up.
It was a Molotov cocktail. They burnt the end of a bottle and threw it on that shit, and you know what I mean. That's why it looked like that. But it
didn't do much.
I thought that was just in like.
It
I
could
thought
have.
it was gonna be.
It could have.
They Grand Theft Auto that motherfucker. They Grand Theft Auto.
I mean, there was an explosion. If you have a Molotov cocktail,
but if you look at the inside of the car at the damage,
people don't just be having Molotov cocktails. Like that's really
you
like,
wouldn't think that that's what happened. Looking at the damage,
video game
it's
villain
not
shit.
as bad as what I expected it to be. It's just like black marks on parts of the seat or whatever.
It probably didn't burn through all the way.
Maybe he threw it out.
Nah, I think that shit didn't burn through.
Maybe it came in the car. Maybe it came in the car. Like it was on some shit.
I don't think he was in the car
and then threw that shit. But it had burned shit up before he could. It came through the roof. It had a whole.
While he was in there.
I don't think he was in there.
That's what I'm saying. So how did he? What you saying? He would have had to be in the car.
And you know what's crazy? Kid Cudi said, Diddy, like after it happened,
day and night.
He called Diddy. He was like, yo, Diddy, what the hell? You threw a bomb? You threw a bomb on my shit?
How you calling nigga like?
Diddy said,
yo, money.
Diddy said,
did you really throw a bomb?
But they said Cassie told him that.
Diddy said, nope. I don't know what you're
talking about. Wasn't me, nigga.
That's what they always say. I don't know what you're talking about.
But it wasn't me.
That shit is crazy.
So they on the sofa.
That nigga crashed out for his boo.
That's crazy.
Nah, man. But that shows that he's willing to crash out.
What do you think? Do you think Diddy's going down?
It depends. I don't think he's going down. No, I don't.
I think he should.
I think he should 100%. I think he should. I think he's guilty.
Gonna get convicted.
Exactly.
Probably.
I don't think so. I think he's gonna get a hell of a lot of probation.
He had people to sign NDAs.
Yep.
That shit don't matter. They could still testify.
Yeah,
but
because it's a federal
they
case,
not
right?
gonna.
So
If you get arrested for something, a crime, then they don't care about no NDA that you signed to not tell. The law doesn't.
yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, especially if it's a federal case, they don't give a damn. You know what I'm saying? They gonna use. But then if if this is a federal case and the federal conviction rate is 90%, then he's supposed to go to jail for something. If he's supposed to go to jail for something, if the conviction rate is 90%, and it don't matter if it's Diddy, it don't matter if it's a rich black guy, it matters that the feds is want you booked. You see what I'm saying? So if the feds want you booked, then he's supposed to. If it's 90%, then conviction rate, he's supposed to be in jail, unless he's the 10% that has that bag, and that's how I'm looking at it. I feel like he's probably in that 10% that has that bag, that has enough money and resources saved up for a day like this to say, oh, okay, I could get out of it. But like I said to E on another, what's the name? I think it's gonna be on some Nino Brown shit. I think somebody that he least expect is gonna come out of nowhere and try to take his ass out, because this is some wild. It's like a lot of people is involved in this. Like, people are saying Justin Bieber crashed out. Y'all seen him on stage? And he
had episodes before.
Yeah, but you gotta also understand that he went on record saying that he didn't have nothing to do with the Diddy situation.
Of course he does.
Exactly.
Most people in general, whether you're a man or a woman, if you were essayed, then there's shame that comes with that.
Yeah,
so a lot of people don't want to, and more so for a man. But a lot of women don't tell if they do right away. They don't, because they feel like I think they did it to themselves, or it's embarrassing. They don't want nobody to know. Like they, you know.
He was a little boy. He was literally a kid, and this is why I won't put my kid in
these parents
mainstream. Yeah, like we're not doing that. We're not doing that.
And then you left him. It ain't even just about putting
exactly.
You left him with this man, like you're leaving, just
like
that Nickelodeon guy.
Star Camp
you
or
left
something.
Let Josh. Drake. You let Drake Bell go stay with this man, this grown man or whatever, and then he ended up doing stuff to him. You don't even know him, and the father told you.
And that's why the bag isn't as important as your morals. That's prime example on why the bag is not as important as your morals, because once you do anything for that money, it justifies literally all that wicked shit that these victims had to go through because of that decision. Like, that shit gotta weigh on your heart. Something crazy when you do somebody like that and you did it for bread. Like, that's crazy. Like, you did it for bread. Like, you gotta see this person afterwards, and they know you sold them out for money.
Bro, it's like crazy. It's like, what world do you live in? Like, this is like,
it's been happening since the Bible days. Look at Judas.
The reality of it. Like,
look at Judas.
Everybody has
it's sold the Son of God out for three silver coins, bro.
But it's rare to find
the Son of God.
It's rare to find a person in reality right now, 2025. It's rare to find a person that is not your family, that's always gonna have your best interests at heart every single time.
But that means there is no real true friends out here, because that's
everybody not your friend.
You right, but there gotta be some people. There has to be some people, cause
you know who those people are.
Yeah,
you might
exactly.
Not really know, but you
gonna know. You gonna know. I feel like in 2025, if you're not sure about your mans, you're probably gonna cut them off. Sorry, you're not straight. You're probably gonna cut them off. 100%, because this is the year that you're just not dealing with nothing fake, and everything just has to be real. Because, like, I just feel like everybody has been showing glimpses of not wanting to deal with certain people, certain energies, certain behaviors, and they're not going for it. Like, if one thing COVID taught us was you should never shack up with somebody that just pays the bills because you might hate this person. You might really hate, like, you there is a dynamic where you're used to them going to work, or you're used to them going out every Friday or whatever. You're used to whatever the dynamic is, you're used to that. Once that shit changes and you're locked in away with the same person, bro, you'll see if you really want to be with that person. You'll see if, like, yo, this person, I really can't even stand, like, this person. Like, I just really was infatuated for how she was making me feel versus who she really was. Like, it's like, yo, that's some heavy shit when you realize that you with the wrong person. You just went with them.
You got so heavy.
Yo, nah, cause let me tell you why that's so funny. Dreamgirls is hilarious. Dreamgirls is a funny ass movie, like, from top to bottom. Jimmy Got Soul. Jimmy Got Soul is the funniest shit. That's probably why I'm Christmas on demand, because he was doing dope on Christmas. And I was just like, yo, I just felt like that was the dopest little reference right there. Like, but yeah, yo, shout out to Dreamgirls, the movie. That shit was really, really good. Shout out to Beyonce as an actor or actress, whatever.
Yeah, her and her daughters on tours, kind of.
They all talented as fuck, but I think they should leave Remy at home. I think they need to leave Remy at home, like Rummy, whatever her name is.
Right, because what is they really just bringing them out because of what Kanye West said.
Exactly.
Because she's not.
Yeah.
She just standing.
She's not. She's just standing there. Yeah. It's like, yo, she don't need that type of exposure, and then she's young, so it's like she's being forced to be out there. I mean, I guess she probably don't care. She do want to go out there, especially if she see her sister out there. But yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, she's just really adjusting on the fly, and I just think that shit is like crazy. Like, I wouldn't want my baby to have to deal with that much weight of energy, because you got to think that's energy too. Like, that's like a overwhelming feeling that you should be a mature person to be able to handle it.
Right, because she can't even sit still. She's like waving at everybody,
exactly.
and like so hyper and like.
Exactly. And it's like, yo, if she grow up, she could be in the wrong crowds because of that attention. She might be addicted to that attention. You see what I'm saying? It's the same thing as kids getting addicted to what's on the tablet. It's like, as soon as you put that LED screen on, or you turn on that Obsidian tablet, it's like they'll watch that shit for 8 hours straight. All they gotta do is eat and piss and be on that tablet, happy as hell. You see what I'm saying? So you gotta really realize that, like, they could be watching anything.
And you said, well, wait, about Final Destination. Not only did that just happen in the movie theater, but the bridge collapsed and the people was hanging, and that happened kind of. The people was falling.
Very similar, yeah.
And they were hanging on stuff, trying not to fall.
That's crazy.
On the top
of it. See, there's a lot of energy attached to these movies, and we think that this is harmless, but there's no way.
This is crazy.
There's no way. There's too much.
Did y'all hear about DJ Academics?
No.
His house got raided.
His house got raided?
Yeah. Somebody called. So people. So it's a little prank. Like, people will call. They'll get your location and they'll call SWAT on you and say that you're doing some crazy shit.
Oh, this got raided. I thought it was like.
Nah. They raided him. SWAT actually came to his house, escorted him out of his house, and you know, they had mad rifles and everything. Like, it was crazy.
Did he have anything on him?
Nah. He was just.
He had rifles.
I mean, he
had rifles.
He has firearms in his house, but he's legal to carry firearms. But
rifles,
it was just.
Well,
she just saying that the SWAT team have rifles.
Oh, the SWAT have rifles.
Oh, you said the SWAT team. I thought you said they found rifles.
I'm about to say, like, how many rifles?
Nah, they just call. It's just a prank that people be doing to these.
That is not
That's
no damn
not a
prank
good
because
prank.
what if they get killed?
What if they? Yeah.
Well, that's
if
what
they
I'm
really
saying.
find
These
some wild stuff
influencers
like-
are used to them doing this stupid shit, so they know, like, just, you know what I mean, I don't have anything, so I comply with the police officers and whatever.
Yeah, but it depends.
And then
on
you
how
just
that shit
hopefully you can find out who it is, but most of the time they don't find out who they are.
Yeah,
So I don't just be trolling and shit.
That's wild.
Be an anonymous tip.
If they could find all these people with satellite and all this, what's the name? Like, if you make those type of threats and then you send SWAT out and then they go and find out.
These incels are smart. They know how to master phone number or use a WhatsApp or come from they be at the mall
or
some
even
shit
if
like
they
that.
did, they can't
You know
tell
what I mean?
who
It's on a
said
cell phone. It really can't be traced if it's not up there for a certain period of time. Whole bunch of shit.
That's wild. That's wild money.
So it'd be hard. Like I told you before, I watched the thing where, you know, the scammers, they call people phone and they pull up their information on the computer, and they had the people reversing their shit and tapping into their system and talking on their speakers and shit. Like, it was so fucking crazy. Like,
Yeah, I got an email the other day and it said, "Thank you for your payment of $650 or whatever."
yo,
It's
next
not
time you
important.
get one of those, contact those people and let them know, look, this person is sending me something. Could you guys look into it and see what the price cap is for them to do it? Let's fucking get a visual shit and let's like go viral like with that shit. Like, look at these stupid ass motherfuckers.
That's what I'm saying, cause I'm like, I know good. I checked my account though, cause I'm like, what the fuck? And then I blocked it because I'm like, you trying to get me to give you some information so you can really go in my
I'm
shit.
gonna
I
reach
didn't
out
pay
to
for
them. I'm
nothing.
gonna see if there's some way we could do that. That'd be cool.
To the scammers.
Yeah, to get to scam the scam. Well, not scam them, but like
scam.
to get over on them
Yeah.
and reverse their shit and get
Yeah.
into their system and monitor all their shit and be like, you stupid motherfucker.
Yeah.
It's funny.
Just like tax lien investing, you could find out people that you don't like. Nah, that's wrong.
Right.
It'd be like, oh, you delinquent on your taxes.
I call, oh yeah, own your house.
Guys, you should check that out. We went to a seminar at the Omni Hotel, and they taught us about tax lien investing. And what that is like anytime you're delinquent on property tax, a certificate is created, and it's on record. So now, other people in certain states, it's not everywhere, but in certain states in the U.S., they allow you to pay the tax, and then you can either collect the interest when they do pay their taxes, because they have a redemption period, which is a time frame of where they can still pay their taxes, and you know they get to keep the home. If they do pay their taxes, then you get the interest on the property that they owed, and if they don't pay it, by the time the redemption period is up, the property becomes yours free and clear, and you could do whatever you want. You can request for it to be put in a foreclosure, and then they'll give you the deed to the house once it's foreclosed.
Dope. Tax lien. Shout out to that. More information. Yeah, we gotta think about getting this money before money don't matter no more.
Doomsday.
Yeah, money don't matter no more. Like, you know what I'm saying? That's one thing that's on my brain. Like, I feel like we getting closer every day. So that faith makes me believe that it's gonna be worth something before this shit goes to hell in a handbasket.
Yeah, that's crazy stuff that happens.
Every day, you know what I'm saying? It's only a matter of time before we make contact with the demons, aka the aliens. So
do you think it's important for men to tell each other good night?
what? Hell no,
Call them up
bro.
and say
That's a
goodnight.
trend.
Hell no.
That's a trend right now. Supposedly, men are telling each other good night.
That's more funny than serious. Like, you know who is solid in your boys, with your boys and shit like that.
Do you have to tell niggas good night?
No,
Like,
you don't have to say nothing.
Yeah.
Yeah. We tell women good night because it shows the consideration of them. But you know what I'm saying?
What do you think about those guys telling each other good night?
I think it's a prank.
I think serious. I haven't seen that.
They laying in the bed.
I don't see. Nah,
like, yo,
nigga.
What you doing?
If you're serious doing that and saying that, then you like
going like this.
Then you like that man in a different way. You see what I'm saying? But if
they say good night, they like them in a different way.
If you're serious, yes. If you're a man and you're serious and you're not laughing, you're like, no, I just wanted to call you and tell you good night. That nigga like you. He like you. We call that fish in Jamaica.
Damn.
What do you think?
I mean, shit. Motherfuckers telling niggas good night, like just calling them to say good night.
That's crazy. That's crazy work.
But
did they call them up for that?
Yes.
Or were they already on the phone?
Like if they called them up for that on the print.
If they,
the ones I seen, I ain't seen.
They just called them up. They just called them up.
Yeah, that changes it. Like if you're on the phone and then it's nighttime when you get off. Man? Like I don't think it's
I just called you. No, check it out.
Yeah, like all right, bro.
I just called you to say.
Yeah, that's different.
I hope everything.
If you called them to say good night, it's crazy work.
I hope you have a good night's sleep.
That's like telling your niggas to. That's like telling your niggas, yo, call me to let me know that you got in the house. Like, nah, that's weird too. Like, call me to let you know, nigga, you a grown ass man.
Nigga call you back. You forgot to say I love you.
You forgot to say I love you is questionable. You can love your nigga, but you can't say, you forgot to say you love. That's crazy work.
Man. At 2:00 in the morning.
That's crazy work. That's crazy work. That nigga love you in a different way, big dog. You better run it hard.
Yo, what you doing?
Crazy.
If it start with what you doing, it's kind of crazy too.
Yeah.
Is it?
Because you know it's
like, bro, like, what you calling me for? Like, you know what I mean? Something wrong, something happened.
I'm thinking,
honestly,
so you hear somebody say, "Yo, what you doing?"
You know what?
Man?
This is
what you doing.
Men understand each other, but you know what? Like, I know this be kind of crazy. Like, I be thinking like, if a nigga call me, I ain't speak to him in a minute. I think something wrong. I don't be thinking like he just calling me to say what up, but it sounds kind of sad, I guess. When you think about it.
Sassy?
Nah, because like shit, the nigga don't hit you up. So he don't know anything could have happened to you in so many years or however long it's been. But you know, like if you've been in the military or something like that, like sometimes the military people keep in contact with each other because they're committing, they're deleting themselves and all types of stuff, you know, because of mental stress and all of that shit and all that stuff that they probably seen. So it doesn't hurt, you know, on Veterans Day, nobody gives a fuck. People reach out, hey, what's up, brother? How you been? You know what I mean? Whatever. Sometimes it's like that. Sometimes motherfuckers might be like, hey, let's go to Applebee's. I know a lot of people be like, Applebee's? What the fuck? Yeah, man, fucking whatever. Niggas don't give a fuck. Niggas just going to get some wings and just chop it up, have a few drinks, and catch up.
See, this is why the real shit is better than the fake shit in wrestling. It's like, that's hilarious to me. It seems like Triple H is beefing with The Rock. In real life, it's like, nigga, you were supposed to come back and have this influence. You did it. You bombed. And now I'm supposed to, like listen to you? Like, yo, that's hilarious, yo. Because it is supposed to be real. And I like that. That's what they need to do. They need to boost up what we really think is happening versus the things that we know is fake. And people are going to go back to wrestling. I promise you that. Cause that's dope, yo. Like, niggas is really beefing. Like, that's crazy. If I'm The Rock and I come back to the WWE and I say, okay, WrestleMania is gonna be in New Orleans and blah 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 blah, and then they had that shit in Las Vegas. That's funny as yo. Triple H is hilarious, yo. Ain't he from Connecticut? Shout out to Triple H. I don't know where he's from, but shout out to Triple H, yo. Cause that was funny, yo.
From Greenwich, I think.
That was funny, yo. That is some funny shit right there.
I mean, shit.
That's some old DX shit. Remember DX? How they was like troublemakers? That's some shit that they would do.
Like, oh yeah, Rock.
That's like Diddy. I'm shutting down the studio.
Yo.
Now go get me some cheesecake.
You know
They said that cheesecake was for Beyonce.
Yeah, I heard that too, and I believe that. And it's so crazy how Beyonce has.
Nah, Jaguar Ray said that cheesecake was for Beyonce.
No, what's the name said that? What's the name said that? Fred P said that. Yeah.
From the band.
And he would know.
He went to go get it.
Exactly. He would know. Like, real shit. I believe that. But then the question is, why is Beyonce there?
And you getting her some cheesecake.
And was Jay there? You know what I'm saying? He didn't say Jay was there. So what the hell?
What the hell?
Exactly.
What the hell, Beyonce?
They probably was sharing it.
Yo, if they was sharing that,
and
it's
he's
crazy.
sharing
That
each other.
That was freak off cheesecake.
That's crazy. That's crazier than ever. That's even crazier that you said that, yeah. Like, especially the fact that Jay said he don't even know him like that.
He's been at all of the parties.
Remember when he told
He was at all the Rock Nation.
Remember when he told him to get Cambodian breast milk?
Oh yeah, my nigga Dave Chappelle. Shout out to Dave Chappelle.
From an immigrant.
Yo, oh my God.
Nigga was riding another man back. Nigga was crazy, yo. But yo, Dave Chappelle was trying to tell us something back then. Like, he was trying to tell us something back then.
He was too much before his time. It wasn't ready for him.
I think a lot of forces.
He was like
trying to change that show.
The human personification of The Simpsons.
He was, because he was predicting shit like that. Yeah.
Our president was gonna be black. Right? Remember he was the president?
Yeah, he definitely He definitely
Allegedly.
He brought the alien. He brought the alien on there, and Beeble Bobble. And here's our alien Beeble Bobble, and we knew about this for all this time and all this other shit and whatever. And they had spaceships, and then what comes out later? Oh yeah, we do have alien stuff. Is really here and the
baby reverse engineering.
Who was Dave Chappelle, man?
Yo. He was sent.
That's why he had to get out of here. They could say whatever, man.
The real one. That's why they cloning what's the name? They clone Guwap. They clone Guwap. Now I don't know if they clone Guwap because when he was up there on that Versus, and he was sounding like the old Guwap.
Still grimy. Yeah.
What did he say? He's smoking on that. What's the name? Smoking on what's the name?
That died.
Yeah, that shit was crazy. That shit was wild.
Yeah, that is wild because they're smoking.
So,
and he really unalived them. Like,
what do you think about
his own?
That what they was talking about on the Peep?
What was they talking about? I didn't see that.
You didn't see it, but Erica seen it.
Wow.
Why they was arguing?
What they was talking about?
About. Because they were talking about marriage, and then I don't know, they talk about a lot of stuff.
So one thing they was talking about marriage versus a relationship, like a non-married relationship or whatever, and saying that like if you married and you only having intercourse with one person, the likelihood of you getting a VD or some type of transmitted disease is lower because you only got one partner. Supposedly, yeah. The chances of you getting something when you're living a single life and you can have numerous partners and there's it's gonna be higher. Yeah. So one person was arguing with that, saying, "Well, I disagree. If I'm wearing a condom, I can still do this." Right. So the dude was arguing with him. Then they start going all over the place, but the whole thing was,
and he also argued
would a woman want to be with a man that's like a thug, or be with a dude that's like a corny dude, probably got his life together? Why do they feel like they want to be with the thug instead of being with the square, the corny dude, the dude that don't got no criminal record, the dude that do what they supposed to do in society? They don't take any risk.
Because they bored with them. They get bored easily.
Right, but also feel like that person will risk everything for you.
Yeah.
They have a sense of like disregard and will like step in front of a bullet for you. You feel that. You know they will.
Bro,
because you know they'll crash out over you.
As soon as you say a woman is loyal to her feelings, that means that as soon as her feelings change about that man, then it don't matter what he would do for her. Her feelings change, so she's loyal to her feelings.
If you love someone, that don't change.
I mean, it's supposed to be, but
how
many times can a woman say they love a person and just love them specifically? Like, women fall out of love quicker than men. I feel like if a man falls in love with you, he falls in love with you. If a woman falls in love with you,
I think you just.
I think women.
Still there.
I think women are. I think women are more likely to fall out of love than men, and the reason why is because you know if a man loves you, you know, because it's in his actions. You think a woman loves you, but it's really in how she speaks about you outside of how she views you. It's not your actions, it's how she views you. So if she views you as valuable, she's gonna treat you like that. By how she speaks to you, by how she acts to you. Like E was saying, some women not that masculine, but in certain times, they're probably the most submissive. Because if you could switch it up in front of me and I know you're doing it for me and you don't do it for nobody else, I could rock with you, even though your persona is a little bit masculine. You see what I'm saying? Like, yo, it depends on how you treat me as a woman versus what you think about me. Because if she doesn't respect me, going back to the Remy situation, she's gonna treat you like that. She's gonna treat you like that. She's gonna wear what she wants. She's gonna come in when she wants to. You know what I'm saying? She's gonna speak back when she doesn't like what you're saying to her. She's gonna overtalk you. She's gonna try to cut you off. And all of these are examples of literally like, yo, I don't respect you like how I'm supposed to respect you as a married woman. You see what I'm saying? But it gets disregarded because you're like, oh, okay, well, you know, everybody fights in marriages and yada, yada, yada. But guess what? Once the root is disrespect, period, that's not your woman. And that's what Corey Holcomb was saying in that clip. He was like, yo, like, how are you going outside, like, half naked? And that was my point to E. Like, yeah, I know that she's an entertainer and she does this all the time. Well, I mean this in general. Like, for me, if you're a woman and your bread and butter is the lust of men, then I'm never gonna trust you as you're just here for me specifically. You see what I'm saying? Because your bread and butter,
like a
and that's what,
or an OnlyFans.
I'm talking about an entertainer that, you know what I mean, feels like the need to get half naked to entertain as a woman. Because there's certain women that you've never seen them half naked. Like, shout out to her. Shout out to India Ari. Yeah. Shout out to, you know what I'm saying? And it's because they want to get to a certain level, and that's the level that I don't respect. The level that's right over their morality. They're the level that's right over what they know to do, and their integrity. You see what I'm saying? Like, once you get over that, that's what I consider selling out. You see what I'm saying? Once you go over the threshold of
your boundary.
Exactly. And there's a clip that I just watched with SZA
some
before.
People don't have no boundary, or people have different boundaries.
But this is what I'm saying. Some people switch their boundaries, and that's what I'm talking about specifically. Because I seen a clip with SZA.
Because they want the fame.
This is before all the modifications.
Look the same.
Exactly. And you know what she was saying? She was like, I know I'm curvy, but I don't want to be just known for, you know, sex appeal and blah, blah, blah.
Why do all that? She did stuff to her face, too.
Because she went over her morality. She went over her integrity. She said the bag and the influence was more important.
What's the name? Said Lotto. She said she would never make, when she was on the rap game, the teenage rappers. She was like, she wasn't rapping like that. She was rapping about different stuff. She was a kid, but still, she said she wouldn't do that. But
a lot of them say that. Especially ones that have fathers and
ones that had quote unquote good guidance. It's like, but once you start touching that money, once you start mingling with certain people and
the first song that popped was "Bitch from the South."
See, so you already know what time it is. Like you know how they gonna see you. She had
music before that, but they wasn't pushing it. Like they pushed that like out like everybody. Then she did the remix with Trina and so I forgot who else was on it, but that I think it was that girl that was with Quavo.
Yeah, I'm not mad because they getting their money. Sweetie, that's her name.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not mad because they getting their money, but if you're just known for the man that you're known from, then
like we only know you because you're so and so's wife.
Exactly. Then you're not really famous. You're just
so and so's wife.
Exactly.
To the public. Like,
that's it.
You're a after.
And if you don't exceed that,
public.
That's who you will always be. You know what I'm saying?
Fine. You could be just.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I'm not mad at that. I'm just saying that's the reality of what it is. Like that's the reality of what it is.
I wouldn't want to be famous. Like I don't want people knowing me. I'll take the bread. Like I want that,
but I understand that it comes with it. Like if you want to be
things
successful,
that I'm not gonna do.
I mean, you could be a faceless brand.
Yeah, you could be, but it depends on what you're trying to do. Cause it's like you could be on some MF Doom shit, and you could always have your mask on, and you know what I'm saying. You could be some AI character, like how they had that one AI character, and
you could be like Dead Mouse.
Yeah, Dead Mouse. Yeah, that's another. Yeah, I don't know what Dead Mouse really look like.
Me neither, yo.
I mean, you could be like the Gorillas. Shout out to the Gorillas.
Right, be cartoon characters and shit. Accept your awards on the fucking screen and shit as an animation.
But if as long as the people know you're going to be judged as a celebrity, and that's the suck part about music, because a lot of people don't want to deal with that shit, especially when you get invited to Diddy parties and shit like that.
When you freaks see me out in the streets, when
it's like,
yo, feeding my daughter, and not come and speak to me.
I remember I was at Six Flags in Jersey, and this was like right after the Cavs had won the championship. And I run into J.R. Ryder. No, not J.R. Ryder. J.R. Smith. I run into J.R. Smith, and I tell my girl to go up to him and give him and ask him for an autograph.
Okay, smart.
And he was about to give it, and she was like, "For my boyfriend right there, whatever."
And then he didn't give it.
And he was like, "Nah."
Damn.
And then the security guard was like, "Yeah, you know what I mean? He with his family." I was like, "Can I go take a picture?" He was like, "Nah, cause he with his family."
She should have said her son, Dwayne. Or she should have said, her son's. I should have said Smiley.
It was so crazy.
But he said no.
He said what?
But he was gonna do it. But then she said, "For my boyfriend," and then he stopped.
Right.
Yeah.
So it had nothing to do with him being out and feeding his daughter or nothing. He just was being a dick because I ain't signing this for me. So you don't give men autographs. You only give them to women. Like,
I ain't say that,
but you know what's crazy? Michael Jordan got a story like that where somebody asked him for an autograph, and he said, I don't give autographs to no niggas.
And he probably meant niggas in the other term.
Yeah, men. Oh yeah, it could have been that.
Because he said he didn't want us. The sneakers wasn't made for us.
It was made for little white kids that's crazy.
How you gonna say that and you black?
Because I heard he went through. First, he was like racist towards white people, and then he was racist towards black people. It's like the transition. But don't he?
He don't really fuck with us.
Nah.
All I want
his kids is black.
They don't really care about us.
But his kids is also wild.
He's
right
black too.
Yeah, no, I'm just saying, like he had black baby mom.
I thought his wife.
His wife is white now. Yeah, she is. I told you he switched up. He tried it. He was like, nigga.
I mean, all his kids black though.
Yeah, true. But saying is art. Same as Shannon Sharp. Look at the situation he in that people are starting to slowly forget about.
Because we kind of stopped looking at it as black and white. We gotta just look at it for what it is. Women, it's not black or just white, because it's on different sides. It doesn't matter.
Yeah, I mean, I guess the deciding factor is the OnlyFans. So niggas gotta stop being thirsty and fucking with them OnlyFans chicks. You better fuck with
strippers.
You better fuck with you a ex porn star.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah, get you an ex porn star, and then give
Chris.
her the bread.
That's
What?
worse.
I'm just saying that it's an easy transaction. She knows what she's getting. She's getting paid to do the services, and then that's it. It's not sex trafficking because they fuck with each other. They have a cool relationship, and they have an understanding.
It is if she don't live here and you
But once you're trying to be famous because of OnlyFans, that's the problem. And them porn stars, there's not one porn star. Oh yeah, actually there is. That's that one girl. What's her name?
Mia
Skin
Khalifa.
Diamond.
Was it her?
What about her?
With the basketball dude. And I was trying to get money from the basketball dude. And I guess she was pregnant. No. She wasn't pregnant.
Talking about Mariah Mills.
Yeah, her. She definitely X her out of the equation.
She washed up though.
Yeah,
she look
exactly.
crazy now.
And that's why she crashed out like how she did. But you know what's funny about that whole situation? She don't even have sex with black men on camera. So for her to have the one black dude that we see her with sexually, and this is how she treat him, it's like, to me, that's like, that's deep. That's deeper than porn, I guess. That's like some trauma shit. But you gotta press the button. But yeah, man, you gotta choose your partner right, period. And I feel like if you are gonna go that route on just paying for it, just make sure it's a professional where you're in and you're out and you out of there. Because there's so many people that could go to a massage parlor and get all type of happy endings and be straight for the rest of their life. You see what I'm saying? Like, especially for a man, like once we get that post-nut clarity, it's crazy, bro. Like,
yeah, this dude broke it down. He was like, that's all he needed. He was like, shoot, I don't even need to do all this extra stuff. I could just go to a massage parlor, give me a happy ending, and come home. I don't gotta deal with none of that headache. I really don't need you, but I want to be with you. He said it on your show, Kendra. He said it on the Kendra. Shout out to Kendra.
But he right though. Like, he's not wrong for that.
Kendra have it, kind of.
He's not wrong for that.
Unrealistic. Like, I make a decent amount of money, but these women don't understand. Like, I don't need you here to badger me about anything. I just need you here to just be there for me when I come home.
It's just emotional support, bro.
Emotional
like,
support.
we're not even asking for too much. Like, if we get that emotional support, if we got somebody that we know is in our corner, then we're good as men. You know what I'm saying?
Like, good. Just so I don't have to worry about little shit.
You know what I'm saying?
That
but
helps.
I keep it real. Some girls are so good at that they're not good at other things, which is why men a lot of times step out to look for those other things. It's like, if you value your girl, you're not gonna be as freaky as the girl that you don't value. Like, what do you think about that, Smiley? Because
like you wouldn't tell your girl to do certain acts?
Yeah, like if it's your girl and you like kissing your girl, you probably wouldn't finish in her mouth, right? But you could finish in her mouth, and it's your girl. If she want to do it, she want to do it. But most chicks, you know what I'm saying, especially if they're really, really, not that experienced in that type of situation, they're not gonna want to do that.
You know what I'm saying? The girl that really, really like you, or the girl that really, really likes it, and you have to have discernment between the two. Is gonna do that.
Somebody said, "Yeah, you were one to." I think that was a young lady. Yeah, you were one to. What the F?
You want to what?
That's your woman. You're supposed to
Right.
do it.
I mean, you're supposed to, but a lot of people don't do that because they don't do that in general.
I said this before.
And that's what I'm saying.
You're supposed to be a little.
You gotta be
whatever
transparent.
for a man.
So
Like,
she said, finish in her mouth.
Yeah.
Exactly.
That's
Not
You're
every,
supposed to finish in her mouth.
but not every. Yeah,
Oh my goodness.
that's solid. That's solid. Whoever said that is solid. You know what I'm saying? But
Absolutely.
some
Thank
women
you,
don't.
Mindy.
Absolutely, I concur.
Some
Hit
women.
the like button.
Some women don't like that though, and that's the crazy part, right? Because now you love this girl, but she doesn't like that, and you don't want to put her in a situation where she doesn't want to do something. But then there's a lot of women out there that has no problem doing that. You see what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So it's just like, yo, you really have to pick the right person at the end of the day, because if you don't, you'll be stuck with somebody who you feel like you love her, but you don't want to make her go outside of her safety box when it comes to her sexuality. You know what I'm saying? And forever is a long goddamn time, yo.
Forever never seems that long until you
You know what I'm
grow.
saying?
They ruler can be too long.
It's a long time, like, to be with somebody and not be happy sexually.
I mean, like,
yeah, you gotta.
Crazy.
like
right?
honestly, like,
That's crazy work.
there are certain things.
Exactly, Mindy. I agree.
If a woman is being taken care of mentally and emotionally, it's nothing she won't do for her husband. Absolutely.
100%.
That's the thing that we were speaking about with Pap and Remy. Like, Remy expressed that there were certain things that she felt she wasn't getting as a woman that made her probably be a little more feminine towards him. And he stopped doing those things. He stopped saying probably certain things and treating her a certain type of way or whatever, because that's her love language. Like, we can't discount that. We have certain things that we like.
Why can't we?
Why can't we? Because we're human. We have the right.
I'm just
we
talking
have
about
the right to feel like, all right, you have feelings all day.
Yeah.
So we have the right to be like, okay, I don't want to keep this in. Let me express this.
Mm-hmm.
I'm one of those type of people where it's like, if it's not really a big issue and it's not going to take up too much of my time, then there's no reason for me to address it.
Yeah.
Some people will, because they just got to get it out. They just have to do it.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? It's a difference with that when you're in a relationship, because you got to understand, are you dealing with a person that's going to be like that, then you're going to be butting heads? Or is one of you going to be the bigger person and decide,
Can I say something
I'm going
about
to
that?
listen to what this person has to say? Go ahead.
So I agree with somebody has to be the bigger person, but what I was saying is sometimes you have to discount what the person that's not making the most sense is saying. Because if it's based off of, this is how I feel based off of, to excuse my actions, if that's what we're talking about, if her feelings is based off of because I got caught cheating, then hell yeah, it should be discounted. You got caught cheating. Why do I have to care why you cheated on me? No, you cheated on me. So now you need to.
Why you want to know?
Exactly, but this.
If you don't want to know,
what you're saying.
if you don't want to know, then don't ask. Like, and that's
what you're saying.
If they're
If
gonna
you're
tell
saying,
you, then why are you gonna discount it? Why are you gonna dismiss? If they're telling you why, if you want to know why they did it, and they're telling you why they did it, why are you gonna dismiss it? What's the point of you even doing? Just walk the fuck out.
You know
Just
why?
don't even do it.
You know
All right,
why
so
they
you know
did
why? Then go. Don't sit there and whine about it or feel some type of way about it.
Smiley.
Be a man and walk away,
Smiley.
or stay there and try to find out what it is.
I can't talk about what happened theoretically. I can only talk about what happened, right? And she left, or this whole situation happened based off of her cheating, right? So we know that he's not comfortable with her cheating. We know that, you know what I'm saying, he wasn't saying anything initially until she started speaking on the situation. We know the facts. We see who's in the right, we see who's in the wrong. It's hard for me to have sympathy for the devil, bro. It's hard for me to be like, okay, she had feelings in this situation, and I need to hear her feelings to try to diffuse or whatever. No, as soon as you violate me, violate the union of our marriage, and say my feelings were more important than our marriage, I know I'm not with the right one. But you can't just jump apart and not be with this person, right? Because there's counseling, there's this, there's all type of things that makes this whole hold on, let me finish. There's all type of things that makes this process harder than just separation, especially if they have a kid together, which they do. They have a infant together. Now, if we're listening to Pap's side, which we just heard recently, this shit is crazy. From the story of the woman that was in jail that came to see her, and then they were sleeping in the room together, and then it was like repeatedly, and then one time he caught them doing stuff with the baby in the bed, bro. Like once we get to this type of narration, we'll say, because we don't know if Pap's telling the truth. We don't know if Rem's telling the truth.
They was playing leapfrog with the baby in the bed.
Yes, 2 women. One of the women was locked up with her.
Yeah,
she got out.
Crazy.
And this is what I'm trying to say. Like certain things on why she did whatever she did is irrelevant, bro. It's irrelevant because just hearing what happened, you start to realize the character of the person that we're talking about. Like, I'm not saying Pat was no angel, but I'm saying he's justified on moving on, and he's not the one that's trying to go at him and easy and on, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, he was mad. Yeah, he knocked him out one good time. You see what I'm saying? But it is what it is. He stopped talking about, he don't even talk about the dude no more. He just recently, you know what I mean, started talking about him because, he just decided to air all of this out. And I feel where it should be aired out.
Heard a recording, he was acknowledging, you'll fuck this nigga or something like that.
Yeah, I feel I don't feel like it should have been in all in the media, but it is. And at what point do you let somebody assassinate your character and just, you know what I mean? You just, I ain't gonna say nothing. It's like, you gotta defend yourself. Because you're not, these are both celebrities. And that's why I said, it's the most successful relationships in Hollywood is if one person is successful and the other isn't. And they're out of the what's the name? And it has to be like that because once those 2 egos are in the same house, they're gonna collide.
Mindy Sue is dropping some gems.
What she say?
Don't go looking for something you don't want to find as a wife. Let them protect your feelings, because as a man, if he in love, he could feel too vulnerable to fuck as a wife where he's safe emotionally.
All facts. 100%.
Yeah.
Definitely,
I wish we had a soundboard. So
Can you pin that? See if you could pin that. Because that's real, though.
Yeah, that is real. I mean, it's hard to find that one where you feel safe like that.
No, that's not
everybody
a wig.
got
it's a hat, Alex.
Everybody got an ulterior motive.
You say you got a wig on?
He said it's a red wig.
What? Why would my boy?
See the little,
you think he elephant man?
I don't see the little thing at the top. Come on.
What's going on?
All right, thank you for tuning in. Hit the like button. Looks good. He said, Alex.
Appreciate you. But yeah, man, we just talking about Remy and Pap, and various other fucking things.
Why are you wearing a beanie in the summer? That says Niger or nigger lover.
What?
But it only has one G.
Niger lover?
It's a troll, man. Shout out to the troll.
Shout out to Niger.
I don't know. Call it just me being a creature of habit. It's just something that I
answer?
do. I'm a hat person. It's something that people do wonder about. Like, yo, why would you wear a beanie or something? Like that could be a
like when I wear
rap.
shades at night, people.
Right.
Or
Right, like that
inside.
song. Remember that song that dude made?
I just sang
I wear, yeah.
That's it. Just sing that shit.
Oh, he said he from Niger in Africa. Okay.
Oh, shout out to Niger.
Oh,
I
shout
told
out
you,
to
shout out to
Africa.
Niger.
Shout out to the motherland. Shout out to the motherland. I know it's hot out there. I wouldn't wear no beanie out there.
Cause you would. That's your
Probably,
style,
yeah.
bro. You gotta keep the rhythm going, bro.
Keep them flies on my.
It's just the rhythm. Shit. We got a song out, y'all. Me and
Yes.
E. Shout out to
Called,
E.
what is it called?
Rockstar.
Rockstar.
It's called Rockstar.
Rockstar.
You know what I'm saying? It was beautifully done. We gotta start like promoting that.
Yeah, it'll be on streaming platforms soon. Stay tuned. We'll let you know at another date.
That part.
My YN on his way, just chill. Yay hoes said.
Okay.
Alright. Tell them pull up.
I call YN's young nephews now. My young nephews. See that.
Yo, free Tory, man.
he
So
got
upset about
stabbed
that,
up.
yo.
Yeah, man.
I keep hearing people saying such nasty things, yo. Like, you know, relationships. Like here's the thing. This is why people worry about Remy and Pap so much. They worry about it because it gave us hope for a second. Because our parents didn't work out, they're divorced, or we didn't meet our father, or who is our father, or our father doesn't come around anymore. He went for a pack of cigarettes, and that was
some
it.
milk.
Or some milk.
Yeah.
And we didn't have cereal that day.
That's wild.
You know what I mean?
Cereal is metal. Don't eat that shit.
And now you can't eat cereal because it reminds you.
It reminds
That's
you.
good. All that lead poison.
Yeah,
shit.
Yeah.
But the fact is, that's not really the kid's fault most of the time. It's the parents' fault. I was talking to somebody the other day about the father being a disciplinarian in the family, and instead of the mom crashing out, you know, cursing at the child and all this other stuff, they should try to give the kid more love, which is hard to do because they don't have a level of patience to be able to give them more love. They just need a hug. Instead of grabbing them and smacking them upside the head, grab them and
Like,
squeeze
boy,
them
what's wrong with
and
you?
hug them and let them cry into your shoulder. You know what I mean? Because that's still your
They
baby.
say it's gonna be okay.
But it's hard to do that. You know what I mean? But it should have happened a lot
Oh my
earlier
God,
before they got 17 years
Wow.
old. Feel me?
What happened now?
Well,
I'm watching this. Did you put?
What the heck? Oh, that's that AI.
oh yeah, that's lit.
That is not lit. That is wild, bro.
Did baby get the parachute?
The baby survived at least. That's crazy. What is the cat doing there? The cat's gonna say the baby? Yep.
It's on his
Yeah,
back.
it's on his back.
Yeah, right.
Exactly. I mean, this whole thing is baloney. The impact alone would have like,
And he
wow.
rocked
He's
it.
coddling them.
It's crazy.
Yo.
AI is fire, yo.
It's a little too fire for me.
Look at.
This
That's
is a whole
what's new,
story,
man.
yo. This is how y'all should have set up y'all short story.
The new Mission Impossible is basically like
just crazy
about,
and
like,
out of control.
AI
like
like taking over or something. And
that.
Ethan trying to
The
stop
movies
it.
will tell you. The movies will tell you what's about to happen, yo. Because they always give you.
And you don't, and you're, and you fear, not fear it, but you're not a fan of AI.
He said
I am a
he
fan
don't
of-
gotta pull
look.
up. He outside.
I like technology, right? I like when the technology is for beneficial reasons. but I don't trust the people that are in control of the technology. I don't trust the governments that say, hey, we're going to fund this for whatever reason. I believe just by history that there is technology that for war that is detrimental to both sides. Just because it's so powerful that, and it's kind of like the atomic bomb. It's like when you think of these bombs made for all this destruction, what we're saying is now they have the technical abilities to make that same type of destruction besides just the explosion. So now you got to think like, once we give machines access to be on the battlefield and now there's a legit robot running with you, are these manned robots or are these robots just straight up assassins? So, you know what I'm saying? Like, all it take is the right hacker. All it take is the right virus or whatever or malware for all I know, that's gonna make everything just change. And it's like, one thing I noticed with COVID and how everybody had the mask and certain people didn't want to wear the mask, they thought it was stupid, certain people.
Because I don't think it really.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, me too. I mean, there's probably scientific evidence that backs up that shit didn't do nothing. And it just was, to me, it seemed like a staged exercise to see what people would do. Exactly.
And now they're going to turn up the heat.
This is what I'm saying. So to know that this is the social climate where we're at today, where things can be used against us, where like all the metals and all the crazy stuff that they're doing to the food, it's like, if it's accepted as the norm here, it's going to turn, there has to be a bad side to it, basically. So whether it's the food, the education, the entertainment business, anything that you think about, business in general, like, there's always going to be a bad side of the coin. It's inevitable. And I think that the problem with this is, this shit is smart. So once it's able to think for itself, like, there's like logically,
you think it's gonna be dangerous?
Yeah, because it's gonna be like, yo, I'm not rocking with these people. We treat it like shit anyway. We're gonna treat it like shit. I promise you, as a species of human beings, we treat each other like shit. So we're gonna treat it like shit. Once that data starts computing, like, why do we have to listen?
I get computers puke.
Yeah, once that data starts computing or puting, that, yo, these people are treating us bad and we didn't even do anything, they're gonna calculate how to end racism or machinism. It's not gonna look up for us. It's not gonna look good for us. So I'm just saying, I don't have a problem with technology. I just have a problem with where it's inevitably going to head in the wrong hands. And I feel like it's definitely not the right hands it's in, because look at all the devastation we've done just to create a tool for war. And if that's where our mindset is, that's what's gonna manifest, more war. So you know what I'm saying? I like the hoverboards, even though I can't ride them shits.
I was vacuuming and it just stopped.
You was vacuuming? What? Oh, your vacuum stopped. It's probably clogged up.
You think it was a electromagnetic pulse?
No, I'm just mad because I couldn't finish. I don't know. That has nothing to do with it. I just was looking over there.
Could have been some spooky shit. Static Shock came in there.
Speaking of spooky shit, man, I watched this crazy movie. the other night.
Till Dawn.
Till Dawn. There you go.
What's Till Dawn about?
It's
a vampire movie?
No. These people are like, so they go on this road trip to like this cabin.
Okay.
And they go down this path, I guess this like forest road kind of. They go down this road and the road is like rainy. And the rain is like so bad. And then they get to this clearing and there's a house at the clearing. With a little parking area for you to park your car, and then you go into the house, and I guess it's like an Airbnb type of thing. And they go in there, there's nobody there. And they see the guest list, nobody signed off on the guest list, there's nobody there, looks like nobody's been there forever. But the crazy thing is, the rain is still raining on the road.
Zavala.
The rain is still raining on the road, but it's not on the what you call it, on the house or in the
veranda.
On the property.
Right.
What's
It's like weird as hell.
Zavala said, "This is all real information. Look into the journalist Whitney Webb. You will be awakened."
Whitney Webb. Let's check that out right quick.
Whitney Webb.
Let's Google that right quick.
But yeah, the movie's crazy. Check it out.
Final Destination. What is that? Till Dawn. Is that the name? I feel like that's
Till
not
Dawn,
what it
yeah.
was.
Till Dawn.
Shadow Force. I still need to watch that.
My she's a writer, but I gotta go to Wikipedia, I guess. They're calling it a conspiracy theory on it.
We waiting for our awakening. Hold, please.
Shout out to the conspiracy theorists that drop the conspiracies when certain things happen. Because when certain things happen, it's like, well, I told you. Like, if you say, I told you more than like 3-4 times, then you're not a conspiracy theorist. You might be a theorist, but you're not a conspiracy theorist no more.
Because it came true.
Because exactly, if you like solid with what you've been said and how it ended up happening, then
So if you believe that, then you gotta believe that they spoke it into existence, perhaps.
I mean, regardless,
Correct.
if you can speak things into existence and it comes into existence, then you're not a theorist anymore. You're a fucking what do you call Nostradamus now? You're a fortune teller.
Jim H says he loves big women.
Shout out to Jim H.
Shout out to the big beautiful women
Thank
out
you
in the
for
world
tuning
too.
in. Hit the like button.
Yo, what's that song?
I like big butts and I
No,
can't
that
lie.
dude.
What?
That dude, he made the song Lizzo. Remember that?
You said the dude he made a
The
song
dude, he
called
made
Lizzo?
a song called Lizzo, yeah.
Lizzo lose a weight, man.
Moon something? Moonwalker.
Not Moonwalker.
Yeah, Moonwalker.
Damn, that's crazy.
I'm just really like, I saw the affidavit,
Of what?
Tory Lane's security guard. I read it.
The more information I see about that, the more I feel bad for this dude. Because he's definitely in
I feel like the more information I see, the more hope he kind of has, though, because
yeah, I
it just
believe
was
he's gonna
like
get
open
out.
and shut.
But
and
for
then
him
now
to get
there's
stabbed
other,
up,
yeah,
and like
it's
there's a-
unfortunate that it had to come to that.
all I'm saying is the accountability that Meg doesn't have to take is crazy, bro. Like to me, it's
Appreciate
sickening.
y'all, man. Appreciate y'all.
Thank you.
For whatever reason you do, man, I appreciate it.
What happened?
Because people talking junk, but some people say they like and subscribe.
Nah, it's all good.
Somebody
Like we
said
talk about, we
got y'all
talk
again.
about the same shit that y'all talk about.
And Jim
Like
H
real
said
shit.
you're handsome and I like and subscribe. Thank you for subscribing and liking. And Face Bob said me too, Jim, and put the strong arm emoji, the
Yeah.
flexing emoji.
That's crazy.
Appreciate you guys.
We appreciate y'all, man. We appreciate y'all. Except for
We
that
got-
one dude that
We got
called us
merch
gay.
coming
We don't
out too,
appreciate
man.
you, bro.
Y'all can support, man. We got merch coming out. Remember.
And Jim said you were handsome.
It's all good, man.
You about to buy handsome or like?
It doesn't matter, man. We don't engage, man. We
doesn't
just accept it
matter.
and we keep it moving. For real. You can't dwell on every little, you know what I mean?
I'm not dwelling on everything.
That's what I'm saying.
I'm just
Sometimes
saying.
you just gotta like.
I just want to know because I'll say thank you if it's not in like a weird way, but if it's in a weird way,
Just
I'm not
plausible deniability. Remember that?
Yeah.
Okay.
So I ain't gonna say nothing.
Right. Just keep it like that. Speaking of boss man D-Lo, right?
Oh,
you know what I
man.
mean? Like, yeah, just. But here's another thing. Whenever there is something with those celebrities, like, is it out of order for them to speak out? Like, whoa, because you always get hit with the homophobic thing. Like, oh wait, when you're saying like, look, I'm not with that. I don't, you know what I mean, whatever. Like I was watching something, one of those shows. It was a podcast. I think it was called Whatever Podcast or whatever, and they were talking about if a straight man goes with a trans woman as accepting her as a woman, he is not gay. I said, what?
Wait. Who said that?
It was on the podcast. It was somebody that was up there. I don't know who they were. But the person was like trans. I shared it in the chat.
Was the person trans?
I believe she was.
Well, so that
Or it was.
That explain. I mean, that's basically saying.
But then other women that were.
They disagreed.
They agreed with it.
They
other
agreed with
women
it.
was like, yeah.
Okay.
They agree with it.
So check this out. I think we will all agree that when a woman is scorned or feels like she got the small end of the stick, right? She's going to make sure that she gets her get back, right? There's not much get back for a man. We might be able to, have sex with her friend or something like that, or what I'm saying. Some men go farther and try to mess with a family member, which is wrong on the family member's part.
But what about what that person said on that show? Like she said that if it's a fucking dude that wanna be a woman now, like let's call it for what it is, and then the other person is like they want to be with them. They're saying that they're not gay because they want to be with a trans person. What do you think about that?
I think that's wrong. I think that's selling false information, and I think that's why it matters from where the information is coming from, right? So all the women that agreed with the person that made this statement, you could kind of tell where they're at in their love life if you have that certain mentality. Because if you have another mentality, if you have a mentality similar to mine, you could say whatever you want to say. But if it doesn't make sense, then it's not anything that we're going to regard. We're going to disregard that, right? Because we disregard what doesn't work for us as individuals, right? So if you're telling me something, if you're telling me, I feel like you're not a homosexual man if you're into a trans woman and you see her as a woman, and that's not a homosexual a feeling. You know what I'm saying?
Hold on. Please, you guys, please be respectful in the comments, because we don't. Thank you for tuning in, but you don't gotta be nasty in the comments.
I mean, the conversation.
And it's not true.
The conversation is wild. So they're gonna turn up when we turn up. You know what I'm saying? If they get too disrespectful, just block them. You know what I'm saying? Everybody trying to get their 15 minutes of fame. But anyway, so I'm gonna believe what makes sense to me, right? So if you're trying to say something to convince me otherwise, I have to see the sensibility in it. If I don't see the sensibility in it, I'm gonna tell you why I don't see the sensibility in it, and then I'm gonna distance myself because I don't want to be forced into anything, and I don't want to force anybody into anything that they want to deal with or they don't want to deal with. Me personally, I don't want to deal with a person that can't see reality, right? So you could be gay, you could be whatever you want to be. If you think you're a furry, you're a furry. You know what I'm saying? You could do whatever you want to do, but don't force me to believe what you believe, because that's just your belief. That's not what it is. That's not, you know what I mean? That might be your reality, but that's not my reality. So in this situation, it's like, I feel it's wrong because you're not telling the truth. The truth is, as a man, if you're attracted to another man, regardless on how you feel, that is a homosexual act, whether it's a thought, whether it's a what's the name. Now, if you are a trans person and you are literally so good at the perception of being a gender that you're not, there is those men that are fooled that didn't know that you really was a woman. You see them? Or really was a dude. You see what I'm saying? That's different. That's what we call deceit. That's what we call deception. So we're not gonna base any truth from deception. If you're already deceiving me because you want people to believe that you're a different gender, then we're not gonna excuse that deceit as anything that is beneficial to me. You see what I'm saying? It's like, if you're coming around, it has to be genuine. That goes for everybody you're around in life. If you're around your people, you want them to come genuinely. Why? Because authenticity is a real energy and it's proven to be the strongest. So we want people to be themselves and be around the people that they want to be. Now, certain things, once you start lying about who you are, that energy is real too. So if you don't want that energy around you, you have to know about the deception, right? And people they give that shit away. It's just how they talk, how they act, what they want you to be a part of, what they don't want you to be a part of, what you find out they are a part of, and then you're like, oh damn, I didn't know you were into that. You see what I'm saying? You known this person all these years and you didn't know they was into that. You see what I'm saying? So it starts from deception.
What do you think about?
What starts from deception?
No.
What that person said. The person said they feel like a man shouldn't think that it's homosexual to like a trans man or be attracted to a trans man, period, or a trans woman, period. And I said that starts from deception because the reason why
you think it's a woman.
No. I'm saying the trans man. The reason why the trans man is saying that they want the guy, or they're having sympathy for the guy that isn't he's straight, but he's trying to conform him into the.
This is making my head hurt.
Yeah, it is.
If you're trans, then you need to let people know, because that's crazy.
Exactly, because it's just the truth.
And nowadays you can't tell, like in some cases. So
exactly, that's true too. But that's why I said that's built on deception. Because if you can't tell, you were deceived. If you thought it was a woman, then you're attracted to what you thought it was. But you know what I mean? It makes you gay if you act on it. That's what makes you gay. If you act on it, that's what makes you gay.
No, having the thought.
Having the thought is a gay thought, but it doesn't make you gay. Because if you didn't know, that doesn't make you gay if you was attracted.
If you didn't know, you can't help.
If you look at somebody, right, and you think that person is a girl and you're attracted to the girl.
If you didn't know that it was.
That doesn't make you gay.
Was Seth in Superbad gay for drawing pictures of dicks?
That's weird.
Yeah, suspect. He was suspect for sure. He was suspect for sure.
But he wanted, what's her name?
Yeah, it don't matter. He was suspect for sure.
Did you do that?
No, that's why I said he was suspect.
One of my boys
That's
did
not
that shit
really-
though. That shit was funny.
That's crazy. That's
Yeah,
crazy.
he didn't
must have liked
he didn't
that.
have a lunchbox though. He had that shit in a notebook. It was
That's
like
wild. He had a
a
notebook.
spiral
It's crazy.
5-star notebook.
And
Yo, he
that's-
had mad little
and that's what I mean
C's,
of-
He had Drew in there.
And that's
shit.
what I mean about
Dude was
discernment.
a freak.
Now, if he got older and you found out that he was into dudes too, it would make
Probably.
sense.
Nah, he got a family and shit.
I don't need nothing.
He could be covering it up. Yeah.
Exactly.
Leon played in that
But
movie.
do that make? Come
I don't
on,
know.
man.
What?
Having pornos in his notebook.
Not
It's not the
pornos.
That
same.
ain't
Dicks.
pornos.
No,
He wasn't
not
drawing
pictures of
titties.
dicks. He was drawing titties and he was drawing the whole scene.
Oh, see, you ain't say that.
Oh,
'Cause
yeah,
Super-
that matters.
Super-
Superbad
That
was drawing
matters.
dicks.
Nah, he was
Yeah.
drawing-
He was drawing willies, nigga.
That changes.
Nah, he
if
was
you
gay.
kid.
That's just funny. Yo, the Knicks is out of there, huh?
They out for real?
I don't know.
I don't know. I don't watch that shit.
Some people was talking about. Yo, somebody said this. This is what I heard.
I heard it through the grapevine.
Men have to admire a sport or know how to play a sport. Is that true or false?
They don't have to. There's some men that don't like sports. And don't play.
I look at it like this. I understand that statement.
Spirit of competition.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. You took the words right out of my mouth, bro. Like,
Sorry.
the spirit of competition is really what it is. Like, you don't have to watch it adamantly all the time, but the respect, the word that you said was like respect. Like I respect athletes, bro. Like it's innately in us. Like it's just like the gladiators when people used to go watch the gladiators, and you know what I mean? Yeah, it was wrong. Yeah, people was getting murdered. Yeah, these is real people, but it was crazy. Like we didn't get, I'm talking about society. Society didn't get a break until that moment, right? So it's the same thing with sports. It's like the reason why they give us sports, the reason why so many people are invested is because life really sucks for real. Like we are really drones to the system of a 9 to 5 for sure. So it's like they give us all these things to entertain us and keep us fulfilled because it's entertain us.
It's a smoke screen.
Exactly, and it's a smoke screen. It's just like, you know what I mean, a placebo. It's like we think we need it, so we're addicted to that. And then we think it's working, but it's not. It's just keeping us in a cycle of being invested in people
social
that
media gives you that dopamine hit. So
exactly.
everybody's
That's what it is
there
for
now.
real, bro. It's dopamine. It's our dopamine hit, and that's I can't even knock it too much because that's why I love to do music so much. Because I that's how I entertain myself growing up, and it's stuck. And then you know what I'm saying. Now I do what I watch myself be influenced by. You see what I'm saying? And it's the same thing with these kids. That's why we have to make sure we teach them some type of discernment on what to watch and what they can't watch. Because if we're not paying attention, it's gonna be some F shit.
Yo, my sister asked me a question the other day.
What'd she say?
She said, actually, you don't need to impress people you don't like. Facts.
What is that?
Facts.
What happened?
Guillermo Blanco said, waste your life away to earn money to buy shit you don't need to impress people you don't like.
You don't even
Facts.
like.
That's what people do on social media.
Yeah, that's
Or
what people do,
that you'll
period,
never
with a 9 to
even
5.
see, like, compare their life to a celebrity. Like, you're not them. So, and you're not going to get there if you sitting there acting like you are now, wasting your money on frivolous things that have no real value.
100%, but they're trained to do that, though.
With all the benefits of the internet, it actually made human beings go backwards. You know why?
It did.
Because people rely on electronics.
They rely on
in order to sustain certain values in life instead of getting their hands dirty and knowing how to do things manually.
You're
do
not
it
gonna
yourself
learn it, yeah.
field is minimal, but it should be higher because of the advantages in technology. Like you have to learn how to use the technology that you have. If you don't know how to use the technology that you have, then you're gonna be behind. But if you know how to use it, some of it is cutting edge. It can bring you closer to whatever goal you're trying to achieve, depending on what industry you're talking about. So it's backwards because people will probably use it or not use it, and some people just cared not to learn how to use it. You know what I mean? Those are the people that's going to be left behind. The people that utilize it the right way and are aware of the advantages in new age technology are going to be more. They're gonna have a higher pivot in their lifestyle. You know what I mean? Because they're gonna know how to adapt.
Automatic is always gonna be used more than manual, and that's just what it is. People are more comfortable when they don't have to do it themselves. That's why we're moving towards an era where it's automatic. It's this cars just driving themselves. You know what I'm saying? It's like, yo, like, we gravitate to what's easier. Like, if you watch Wall-E, I know it's hilarious, but I got a daughter, so I watch shit like that. If you watch Wall-E, it's like, Wall-E was crazy because all the humans got to a point where they were all big and they were living in a fantasy world, and they didn't care about how they were on the outside because they were in AI. I really think that's where we're headed, bro. We're really headed, like, once we can live a life that's not ours, we could just hop in a machine, put on our VR.
It's like an avatar?
Yeah, put on our VR goggles and go into the metaverse, bro.
No, VR.
Yeah, it's over. It's over.
You already could do that.
But what I'm saying is, remember in Black Mirror how their eyes was turning?
No, I ain't doing that.
This is what I'm saying. We're heading that way. 100% we're heading that way. They're figuring out
about that question that you put in there.
What?
Guillermo's second question.
What up?
I'm tested too often as an adult. Tell me, does knowing all you know as an adult, does getting high help or make it worse?
Well, for me, I have anxiety, so it helps me. And then it is, when you know a lot, like when people be like, ignorance is bliss, it do, when you see the reality of things or whatever, it does make it hard to, if there's things you can't control that you know are happening or that you think are happening, when you reach a certain level of intellect, it's like, ugh, I wish I didn't know this stuff sometimes. But to answer your question, yes, for me, it helps.
For me, it helps too, but it helps and it hinders. Let me tell you why it hinders before I tell you why it helps. It hinders because once I do it, I'm gonna want to keep doing it, and that takes away from a lot of things that I could accomplish while on it. You see what I'm saying? It's like instead of smoking and then getting to the thought that I had, right? I'll just smoke and then I'll smoke again. Or I'll just smoke and then forget about the idea that I had and then do something else. You see what I'm saying? So I understand that I gotta limit it. Like, once I limit it, that's where it goes into the good side. That's where it goes into the creative side. Like, it's a enhancer. So everything that you do, sex, playing video games, working out, it's just gonna be fun. It's just gonna be, but the dangerous part about it, back to the dangerous side too, if you don't have a strong willpower, it can create anxiety. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah, because some people say they get anxiety.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. You have to have a strong willpower and knowing that, yo, I am in control of my mental. You see what I'm saying? And once you have that, then you're gonna have a great time. But it's good in moderation. Anything that's too much is not.
We're gonna have 3 different perspectives.
And I can
That's
do
my
things when I smoke.
Because I'm gonna tell you something about my experience.
Yeah, 100%. Some people are
for
better
me,
with it. You know
I don't really have like anxiety, but I'm thinking about a lot of things. I wear many hats, no pun intended, but I have a lot of other things that I have to do. So sometimes smoke helps me relax. Sometimes, and like right now, we're having a casual conversation. We're talking about societal norms, hot button topics, things like that. But, you know what I mean? I'm in a relaxed environment. We're in a safe zone. So this is a different type of conversation. It's not like me having a board meeting or speaking to corporate bigwigs or anything like that. We're just talking. If I was in a more professional setting, there'd be no marijuana. I'm not an addict, you know what I mean? But I do love it. I love my weed. But the only thing about it, I don't think it stops me from being productive. And sometimes it helps me focus more on what I'm doing because, like I said, I think about so many different things. I'm working on so many different things. So I hope it helps me minimalize my thought process to focus on one distinctive thing. So it kind of helps. Sometimes it's good and bad. It's pros and cons to everything. Everything is always better in moderation. You know what I mean? I wouldn't recommend, letting kids do it, but you know what I mean? I just say like it's a vice, and if you can afford it, in some states it's legal. That doesn't make it right or wrong, but it's just something that people can do, and it's not gonna limit your lifespan unless you use it irresponsibly.
Yeah, and you are correct, Terrell. Pleasure is part of life, but too much of it makes you dependent. But that's what we're saying. We're not dependent on it. Like, we're not gonna walk around scratching our.
And this is in the place of alcohol for me. I don't drink alcohol as much as I used to. Even on celebrations, I'm not even a social drinker, and I used to drink a lot. I used to get wavy. You know what I mean?
Why'd you stop?
Because it wasn't helping me. It was an expense. It's not good for my body health wise. Like there's so many risks.
Can I go further and say that
drinking alcohol for your body? It's literally putting poison inside of your body.
Can I go further and say that your circle changed? So your habits changed?
Nah, my circle didn't change. I still have my friends. I'm not like a hermit, but I have different activities. So I still love my people, but I just move different. You grow. And when you grow, sometimes your circle should change. So let me put this in here. Sometimes your circle should change. Mm-hmm. But all my people are doing really great things with their life. It's just certain vices that they still might entertain are things that I wouldn't care to entertain.
So let me ask you, when you were drinking a lot, were you drinking by yourself or were you drinking with your friends?
I was drinking by myself most of the time.
So you was drinking by yourself?
It was like right after work, I would get a drink, and then when I go out to drink with my friends, we would pregame and do all that other stuff. But when one of my friends, like when we really started drinking when we was younger, I was the one who initiated. I was the one who got the bottle. I was the one who started some of us drinking. You know what I mean? And so I'm not like, I just learned from going through certain situations that you don't have to do that. And I'm not saying for people that do it, if you do it, enjoy it.
So what about your girl at the time? Like, she liked to drink.
Right. You put me on your couch, on your.
No, I just want to know. I just want to know, like,
it's very intrusive for the people.
I feel like
because this is like it's the forest beyond the trees. Like, we're not really talking about me. We're talking about the situation of alcohol versus marijuana.
All right. Well,
so
let me just speak
marijuana?
my
you don't drink? You don't drink?
No, I do drink. I don't drink. So I can't drink a lot. You know what I mean? Anymore. Because I'll throw up and I'll like that feeling. You see what I'm saying? But the reason why I was asking about, you know what I mean, or I made that statement about the people around you is because I truly think that there's a correlation with the people around you and what we do. It's like if I'm around my girl and my girl drinks a lot, then if I don't have no problems with drinking a lot, then I'm gonna drink a lot too.
Is that a
You see what I'm
cultural
saying?
thing though?
If you
Nah,
want to,
not
if
really.
you-
That's
if
just-
you want to.
I
You
don't
don't
think
have
so.
to do it.
That's a
just
discernment.
because
I don't think it's
they-
a cultural
That's a
norm.
character thing.
You don't think it's a cultural norm, and
That's a
given
character thing.
given the society, the way
everybody get drunk.
the way that society has cultivated
There's drunks
the
in
black
every family.
culture in those inner cities, most of the inner cities, those small nightclubs or whatever, you're not the only one. It's not just you and your crew. There's several crews in there,
Mhm.
several other black people in there, same upbringing, probably went to the same public schools.
You know why
Is
it's
it-
not
is it-
really
Is it a little bit more than just meets the eye, or is it just that's just how you want to look at it?
You know why it's not a cultural thing?
Tell
Because
me.
she wasn't your culture. In your scenario specifically, she was outside
So this is
of your
about
culture.
me.
No, it was outside. It was. This is
Alcohol
This
is in
exactly.
New Haven.
It's in anybody, right?
Right,
So it
okay.
can't be a cultural thing. It's really just a
So
drinking
let's
thing,
stick to
or a habit
generalization.
thing. We'll say habit.
Let's
habit
stick to
thing,
generalization.
right? So
So
we'll
we're talking about
all
in
agree
general,
that
why people
Hold on,
drink,
hold on,
why
hold on,
people
hold on.
drink is based on
habits.
based on habits from the people that they hang around or so on and
Right.
so forth, right?
Right.
That's what you're getting at.
Mm-hmm.
I asked you, did you drink? You said, yeah, but not,
Yeah.
I won't drink too much because I don't want to throw up.
Yeah.
You learned that experience how? By just drinking with your
I
family,
did,
drinking
because I was drinking with my friends, and my friends like
how'd
to
you guys
drink
get alcohol.
however we could back in the days. Like,
And how was that? You just go out, figure out a way to go get alcohol.
yeah, 100%. Like when we're leaving high
What
school,
I'm
we're
saying
in
is-
college,
right,
right?
what I'm
And
saying is
how do
that's-
we get
that's
alcohol?
normalized.
Because exactly, it is
So-
normalized.
So that's what I'm saying. It good and bad, or the
but
situation
that's my
is subjective.
but that's my point.
I'm talking about why I don't do it now, as opposed to some of the things that I thought about as an adult.
We understand
It's-
why you don't do it now,
Right. But
I'm
it
just
had
saying
nothing to
that.
do with my circle. My circle was affected by the same ideologies as I was. It wasn't their fault. It was just the system
I'm
that
not
we were in.
blaming your circle. I'm just
No,
saying
but
that.
but
Hold on,
if
hold on,
that's what
hold
you,
on.
Here's the thing: if this is what people want to do, like the term "what's good for the goose is good for the gander," whatever. If that's what you want to do, then you can do it. I'm not in the way of that. But in some aspects, yeah, I'll go out, turn up with the fellas. But you outgrow that because you're doing something else. Maybe
Smiley.
you can't entertain it for whatever reason.
All I'm saying is you're
Is-
influenced by the people that's around you. If you don't agree with that, cool.
That's possible.
But
yeah,
you're
that's
influenced
possible.
by the people that's around you. So at the end of the day, let's take you out of it. Let's put me in it, right? I knew a girl that I was chilling around, and she liked to drink. That was her thing. Now, mind you, I'll drink, but I'm not a drinker like that. You see what I'm saying? So therefore, hold on. Right, E, we're getting there. But therefore, I understood that in order to be around her and make her comfortable, right, I need to drink with her, right? In order to be around her and make me comfortable, I need to not be around her because she's going to want somebody that drink a lot, and I don't really drink like that. So now she has to change for me. If she really likes me, she's gonna make that change. But I don't really know this girl like that, right? So all I'm saying is, if you know this woman that you're trying to get with is a drinker, then you know that you're putting yourself in a situation where she's gonna want to drink every Friday. You see what I'm saying? And if you're not doing anything, sometimes you wouldn't even thought about drinking. But because she wants to drink every Friday, you're gonna drink a little bit more frequent. And this is what I'm trying to say. This is why I'm saying what I'm saying is sometimes just being around the environment of drinking makes you want to drink. Sometimes just being around the environment of smoking just makes you want to smoke. Sometimes you're right. It could have just been, you know what I mean? Like what you like to do, and then you gravitate to the people that do the same thing. But all I'm saying is whoever we're around, whatever they're doing, we're doing similar things.
But that could be just because you already wanted to, not because that's what they were doing.
Exactly. And that's exactly what I said.
Somebody Guillermo is saying, are you familiar with the southern U.S.? Do you have any thoughts about the twins that went missing in the mountains of Georgia
I didn't hear
a
about
month or
that.
so back? I didn't either, so I looked it up. And yeah, it was these twins. It happened last month, and the GBI ruled the unaliving of 19-year-old twins Kadir and Nazar
What?
Lewis, self-inflicted, citing cell phone data surveillance footage. So they seen the video, they're saying, and it showed them each
other?
unaliving themselves.
Like, so they unalive themselves like on suicide, or they alive
I
each
was
other?
trying not to say that word. That's why I said self-inflicted.
Damn, what
But
the heck?
the parents or the family doesn't agree with the ruling, and they believe that there's foul play involved. They had plane tickets to go somewhere, and they're on them.
They never been in the woods, and why would they go to the top of the mountains to do it? Yeah,
They
it's
went.
crazy.
So where were they at? Where did they go?
Could be something behind that. Like,
Where did they go? This is why you gotta be careful traveling nowadays, yo. Especially where you go. Like they'll tell you to stay in the resort. You need to follow the directions.
I remember
yo.
sometime back.
Mountains in Towns County.
Yeah.
90 miles from their home in Lawrenceville.
That's crazy.
That's wild. I mean, what could have happened is they could have went to the wrong town, and this is a danger about being a little bit darker in hue and complexion.
And they said Nazar, one of them, he had purchased an airline ticket for a plane to a trip in Boston for March 7th, but he never boarded.
He never made it. Yeah, that's probably how they knew he was unalive. But sometimes you're the wrong color in certain places, and we don't think that's a reality because it's 2025 in America, but still, like, sometimes you're the wrong color in certain places.
And they twins.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Why would twins? Yeah, why would twins do that? That's wild.
And you know what's crazy? There's a lot of spiritual. I know, not everybody's in tune with the spiritual side of things, but there's a lot of spiritual.
Shout out to Ant.
There's a lot of spiritual things that come with.
We talking about everything, Ant. Right now, we talking
twins.
about these twins taking themselves out, and where?
Allegedly. I don't
They're
believe
from Georgia, and they were 90 miles from their home in Towns County.
90 miles from their home in Towns County.
And they lived in Lawrenceville, but they were in Towns County when that's where they were found at.
They could have been unalived by the police out there.
On top of Bell Mountain.
You know what I'm saying?
Hi, Amber.
Hi, everyone. Thank you for tuning in.
For real.
Hit the like button. We appreciate you. We got some merch coming out too, so stay tuned for that if you want to support.
That's a hell of a story.
Yeah, I don't know. Do you think it?
100% foul play. 100%.
They said they searched their record. They checked their search
But you never
history,
know, man.
and they said they looked up
They could have been involved
how
in
to
some
load
shit.
a gun and self-unaliving rates.
Baloney. They didn't have to do all that with a gun. They don't have to do all that. They could have jumped from a high spot. They could have did all type of things.
But you want the quickest.
Appreciate you.
They could have took some. They could have OD'd. They could have did all type of things. To unalive yourself with a gun is kind of crazy. Like, for me, it's just go to sleep. You go to sleep and you never wake up. That's probably the best way to go. You know what I'm
But
saying?
if they shoot you, it might be over quick depending on where.
Nah,
you
but
shoot.
I'd rather just go to sleep. If you shoot, it's gonna hurt for seconds. Yeah,
But you gonna be
I don't
going.
need seconds.
If
I'm
you
gonna be
die
going if
quickly.
I fall asleep too. If I fall asleep, if something puts me to sleep and it kills me, then I'd rather that than be shot. That's wild.
Unalive.
Oh yeah, unalive, my bad. That's crazy. But yeah. People
Hi,
out here
Amber.
wildin'.
Talk to us. What you want to know? What you want to talk about? Amber says she needs somebody to talk to.
Yeah, for real. We give advice too. You know what I'm saying? And it's three sides of a coin, however that works. It's real.
Yo, what everybody gonna do for tomorrow, yo?
Yeah, or are you already
Boy, from work.
celebrating?
I'm gonna
You don't
sleep
even
in.
realize you ain't gotta work tomorrow, right?
Nope.
See? Like, yo, you ain't
I
even
didn't I didn't realize it.
You ain't had a drink or nothing, yo. Because we was talking, because he just made us feel bad about drinking. Like, so I don't even want to have a drink.
And now y'all trying to get me drunk now. I'm good.
Don't say y'all. I didn't say that. And I don't even have no liquor in the liquor store closed now.
Good.
Cool.
I don't be drinking.
No alcohol.
I do drink, but occasionally I smoke more.
Is drinking bad or is smoking worse?
It's bad for you.
I think
both
it's worse
of
for you.
Drinking
I
is
think drinking is worse for you because it actually rots your liver, and that's not good.
Yeah.
Weed don't rot your liver.
Smoking bad for your lungs.
It is, but it's not as bad as alcohol is for your liver.
You can get sick from both.
You're gonna get sicker quicker from what's it is. Especially me smoking.
Have you ever been so high that you threw up?
Yeah.
I've been high and drunk and I threw up, but it's not just high. Like it had to be drunk. Like there had to be alcohol in the equation.
I smoke weed. I faced mad shit.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I used to smoke way more. I would have like 3 blunts rolled already and just
Like killing an AP in one day.
Shots,
That's crazy.
rotation. Lillard's used to be like,
Crazy blunt.
"You're smoking again?" Like, she'd be like, "I don't want no more."
Man, we just make.
You just want to stay high, like. You feel me?
But that's what I meant. Like that was a drawback for me because it's like once I start.
A lot of women don't like dudes that smoke weed. A lot of them say like, "Oh, if you smoke weed, I don't want to talk to you."
I talked to this one girl like that. I was on BLK, and we was talking. I was hitting it off. I was like, yeah, I'm about to go on a date with this girl. She cool. She, you know what I mean? She had a kid, but I ain't tripping. I got a kid. So she said, do you smoke? I said, I felt like lying, but I was like, I ain't gonna lie. I was like, yeah, I smoke. Why?
So you know why?
She was like, yeah, because, nah, I'm good. I don't think it's gonna last if you smoke, because I don't really like smokers and shit.
Like, yo, like, you should have hit her with the... If we like each other, this is something I can work with.
I would never convince anybody outside of what the standards of the quality of men that they want to deal with. I'm not gonna do that. I'm gonna let her.
It could make you better to not smoke weed. Like I feel like it's a vice that's not really hindering anything. Like some of the most successful men in the world hit a blunt from now and then, or have a shot of scotch.
Yeah.
What, you know what I mean?
Ready for what? What?
I got a problem with doing something that detrimental for somebody else before I do it for me. I can't do that.
Hand me the Vaseline.
That's their name. Hand me the Vaseline. Said y'all ready? Are we ready for what?
I don't know. Hand me the Vaseline is crazy.
Did we really? His profile picture is a jar of Vaseline.
Okay.
That's lit though.
You know, some people like baby oil, some people like Vaseline. Petroleum's not good for you.
You went to the freak offs?
No.
No, not you.
You talking to them? Oh, jeez.
Because why is that your, like, what is happening?
I don't think you want to know none of the answers that
right.
you finna get from these people. In fact, it's almost 11 o'clock. I know I don't got work tomorrow, but I don't want to be
tired.
Yeah, I'm tired of
Get
some of these comments.
I feel like we cover base on a lot of topics today, right?
Yeah, we do.
You know what I'm
We never really talk about Kanye West last time.
We didn't.
Oh, the Hail Hitler?
Yeah.
It's up to y'all.
I mean, there's not much more to say about him. Like, to me, here's how I see the Kanye situation, right? I feel like Kanye's music, for the most part, is still Kanye's music. You know what I'm saying? But I feel like the message is starting to look as though he's being silenced. He's being silenced through humiliation, right? So he can say and do a lot of the things that he's doing because it has to balance out with the cousin song where he was giving fellatio to his cousin, right? It's like you gotta embarrass yourself to be able to say the things that you're saying on the good side. But the problem is, it's like a lot of people are losing their respect and your credibility once you're saying the outrageous stuff, right? So it's like right now, I just feel like it's not a time for talk. This is a time for action. So I don't want to hear about the subliminals. I want to hear a plan of action outside of that. You see what I'm saying? Otherwise, it's Donnie Brasco. And I feel like he's so involved in the part, he forgets who he's working for real, for real. You see what I'm saying? So that's how I look at the whole situation. I feel like he's still a great artist. I feel like he's a great designer, but he's not a great revolutionary. And he's trying to be that. And you know what I mean? I'm in support of anybody that want to change the system, but I'm not in support of niggas that feel like, oh, okay, I gotta go eat. I gotta have a birthday and eat off these naked chicks, and then talk about, I'm Christian. I just had a Christian album. You see what I'm saying? Like, I don't need the hypocrisy. I just need the message and you standing on the message. You see what I'm saying? That's how I look at it. Well, what y'all think about Kanye?
Making a song called All Hail Hitler
Yeah.
is crazy.
That's it. You don't want to elaborate on. I mean, that's pretty much the gist of it. How I feel too. I mean, really.
Yeah.
Keep it short and sweet. Yeah. It's wow.
Because what is going on? I don't know what's happening with him.
I mean, is it just another classic Kanye crash out?
I don't think so.
You know what I mean? Or is it just Kanye really is trying to get everybody's attention to promote whatever he's got going on to get more money to his brand? So it could be just a branding scheme.
I thought that same thing too, but to say
what end? He's
that's
acting like Charleston White.
and this is what I'm saying. To that point, yes, he is acting like Charleston White. It's like he's a shock jock at this point. But to go as far as to say that he molested his cousin, because that's what it really was. Like, if he was older than his cousin and he did these things to him, he molested him, right? So if he would go and say that, like on the record, and that's you know what I'm saying, that's a song called Cousins. And then I saw a post, I don't know if it's real, but I think it is real. He was like, oh, on Cousins, I was really talking about Kendrick Lamar and Baby Keem. So now I'm like, what? Like, first of all, Baby Keem and Kendrick aren't cousins. That's his uncle and his nephew.
I don't even know who that is. Baby Keem.
Baby Keem is, remember that song that he had with Kendrick and Shoot 'em Up, Shoot 'em Up. I was on, I forgot how it goes, yo. Oh, man. But, yeah, basically he's an artist. He's Kendrick Lamar's nephew. And, yeah, so, like, to me, I feel like that's another reason why it's hard to take him serious, because now you're trying to bait a battle between you and Kendrick Lamar. It's like, for what? like you really are upset that he dissed Drake, but you was dissing Drake. You see what I'm saying? So like to me, it's ego. Like he's upset with Kendrick Lamar because he felt like Kendrick Lamar did Drake dirtier than he did. So his ego was like, nah, like, well, I could beat Kendrick Lamar. Like, to me, I can't stand behind somebody that care about that type of vain shit.
Sean Donahue said, what's your thoughts on Fulio? I'm assuming he's asking, what do we think about him being unalive?
He got unalive?
Yeah, even.
I ain't know that.
That happened a while ago, bro. That's not anything new.
What happened? Where? Where did he go?
He died. I mean,
I know, but where? Was in his hometown?
Jacksonville.
he was at a hotel.
He was at a hotel.
July 30th
hotel
of
parking
24.
lot.
He was hanging out in a parking lot. Like, you can't just hang out, yo.
Nah,
They arrested 4 or 5 suspects believed to be involved.
That's crazy.
He wasn't hanging out in the parking lot.
He was shot multiple times in the parking lot of a cluster of hotels near the University of South Florida on McKinley Drive.
Crazy. I didn't even know that, yo. Rest in peace. Rest in peace. That's crazy.
It's 21-year-old Isaiah Chance, 21-year-old Alicia Andrews. These is who they arrested. 18-year-old Sean Gathright and 30-year-old Rashad Murphy. And they're searching for the final suspect believed to be involved, 27-year-old Davion Murphy.
You see how they gave them all up? You see how they gave them all up? They gave them all up quick. They did not waste time. They said, we know everybody that was involved, and we're gonna let you know what it is. Cause
Trap Lure had got like everything. He had the whole. When they caught the dude, he was in the car with his girlfriend. Caught him there, everything. Like,
that's crazy, yo.
From the beginning to the end.
I don't like these setups. This is why I said discernment got to be at an all-time high, like, in these times, because there is people that is disguised as your friends trying to set you up. There's people disguised as your spouse really plotting against you over lust, over just...
Or money.
Yeah, over money, over vain situations. It's like you really gotta be careful out here, like, and know that surround yourself with the people that want the best for you. Like, want you to be in a good situation, because you get caught up with the wrong type people, like the people that don't care about you, the people that talk behind your back, the people that plot or will sell you out for a couple dollars, and yo, I promise you, you're gonna regret it. You're gonna regret it. Shit crazy out here.
I mean, people are gonna do what they're capable of.
Exactly.
At the end of the day.
Be capable of greatness. Don't be capable of treachery and deception, because it's crazy out here, yo. People out here wilding.
Yeah, you can't trust people.
Heard.
Erica Mena said that. She was like, no, it's okay, because you just taught me a lesson. Can't trust nobody, not even niggas you sleep with.
But that's what it is, though. Yeah, you can't trust nobody, because everybody has different intentions.
Like, I'm not saying that you can't, develop an appreciation and have a strong relationship with people, but you just have to expect that most of the time people are opportunists. It could be any situation, at any level, but you gotta have time to get to know that person and try to see that person and see how that person sees you. Don't just jump into a situation and say, oh, this is your friend. You know what I mean? Like, if it's family, you know what I mean? Sometimes you have time to grow up with that person and get to know them, involuntarily. So you already developed that understanding. Oh, I already know you. You know what I mean? But when you meet somebody outside, everybody's not like your family, and you're gonna learn that.
That's a fact.
You meet somebody, at work or something like that, to keep their job, you think they're not gonna throw you under the bus?
Sure.
The fuck? Come on. Sure. I mean, people are people. You know what I mean? I feel like if you let your guard down in a lot of situations, these things happen. A lot of time these things happen because people build animosity towards people. You know what I mean?
Money making men.
Situations.
Yeah. You're not on camera, bro.
Oh, my bad.
Not bad.
I'm high though. But in any case, I'm just saying, a lot of times when people get in these situations, it's usually because they do, like you said, they surround themselves with people that
Yes.
they really don't trust. You know what I mean? And somebody had to drop the low for them to be able to go to his hotel and all of that stuff. So it's definitely somebody that.
Yeah, they having chicks doing that. Like the girlfriend will act like she want to see him, and then somebody that just happened to somebody else.
That just happened to Moneybag Yo. He got set up by his girl.
By Ari.
I don't know. Is that his girl? I don't know.
Yeah. G Herbo baby mother.
He got set up by one of his girls. I was like, damn.
Well, he has more. He has a lot of kids, so I don't know. Maybe it's another one. I don't think Ari.
Well, whoever it was, he had her mother living in the house with him, and I guess her mother is treacherous.
Ari don't have no kids by him, but that's his girl.
Yeah, so I don't know if it's her. I can't say it's her, but I know he about to get locked up being nice to the mother, and the mother messed around and got him locked up because he was on probation. And she called the boys on him. Ain't that crazy? Mm-hmm. I'll let you live in my house. That's crazy.
You know what's crazy too?
Yeah.
On the loyalty test,
Mm-hmm.
this lady caught her mom and her boyfriend in there, and they was about to get it on.
Damn.
And then
about to. That's crazy.
And then the mom the daughter was staying there. Then the mom put her out after that, as if like you the one who was wrong. How you gonna sleep with her man? And he was like, cause she loved me better than you ever did.
Wow.
Or something. I don't know, something like that. She's like, are you serious? Like,
That's crazy.
Like,
yeah, y'all women be getting dignitized saying anything that sounds true.
and then she kicked her out. How you do something like that and then you put her out?
Petty.
What is that?
What's what? I don't know. Is it moving?
It wasn't there. Or something.
I don't know.
Is it a spider?
It's too flat to be a spider.
Probably a gnat or something. Not a gnat, but
Moth, maybe?
yeah.
Yeah, he's like in the crevice, maybe. Yeah. I can't see. You sure that's not a crack?
Huh?
You sure that's not a crack?
No, that wasn't there.
Like a hole.
No. That's something. That wasn't there.
That's just not moving. And it's maybe asleep. I don't know.
And Carmelo Anthony.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
He's being
Oh,
charged.
my bad.
He's being charged with life.
I mean, he wouldn't be the first person that got the shit under the stick as far as the law and whatnot.
I mean, not charged with life. He's facing life. Possibly, if he goes down.
I mean, honestly, like how do we really
charged
feel
him
about that
as an adult.
situation? Is that a racial thing?
Yeah.
It's always gonna be if they're black and white. Like people just naturally.
But this happens all the time.
Yeah.
Like, did you see the other situation where the other young boy was acquitted? He was, I'm sorry. Yeah, acquitted, not guilty. And he went like this.
Yeah, and then his family was. They were like, were they wrong for cheering? They was happy that he was.
Instead of saying, why you do that?
I mean, they probably would talk to him when he get home if he put himself in that position.
That's privilege.
But
They're probably like, right on.
So that right on.
no, if he's doing something that.
If you got away with what's the name and you put a middle finger,
No, I
you'll
don't
probably
care about
raise
that. But I'm
Black
probably
boy.
saying when
Black
they get
boy is
home,
same too.
they're
He was
gonna
raised-
tell
Oh, he
him
was a
be
black boy.
good and
Yeah.
That
stay
got
out
away
of.
with it.
They're gonna
He
say,
got away with
be
it.
good
No,
and stay
that's-
out
You
of
remember
trouble.
the thing, the boy
Like,
with the
don't get
braids?
yourself
He was
in
giving the
this
middle
position
finger.
again.
He had, they said that he wasn't guilty. He had committed a murder.
Did he get away with the middle finger?
Yeah, that was
Yeah, they just, but I'm saying they probably did say when they got home, like, stay out, don't get yourself in trouble again, or make
most
sure you
likely,
be
100%. I mean,
don't
shit.
give them the reason to think that.
Shit, they should have told him before he got locked up.
Yeah, but now but you know, I'm saying they're not
You see what I'm
condoning it, but
saying?
they're happy that he's not locked away.
I'm pretty sure he had an uncle that was like, yeah, don't get fucked up. You know what I'm saying? I'm pretty sure he got one uncle that represented all that ignorance of, yes, you sock it to that judicial system because normally they'll lock your ass up, regardless whether you did it or you didn't do it. You know what I'm saying? If you a certain hue, they don't like you. You know what I'm saying? It is what it is. But yeah, man, that's wild. That's a wild situation. I feel like those situations are few and far in between. But as far as old boy Carmelo, I mean,
I feel bad for him.
Yeah, I feel bad for him. I think he's gonna be in jail for a long goddamn time, maybe. You know what I'm saying?
And
catch
he's
a
not
break
up
for
for
good
parole
behavior.
until 40 years.
Yeah, because you know they don't play. He might have been the son of somebody, you know what I mean, that has some power too. That could have messed up his chances even more because they was like, oh nah, like he's getting a book thrown at him.
They like, we gonna make an example of this one.
That's what I'm saying. So that's you know what I mean. Rest in peace then. I mean, good luck to him, man. Cause he gonna need it.
Free Carmelo.
Free Melo.
Is this country becoming an eye for an eye?
I mean, it's not a fair eye for an eye. It's not a fair eye for an eye.
It's only a fair fight when we fight amongst ourselves.
Exactly, and that's
because we're equipped with the same weapon.
Yeah, that's the agenda. Like I said,
they want us to take each other out.
Like I said, the only force that's accepted is the force against ourselves. That's the only force they'll accept is like when we beat up ourselves. Like they didn't like when we was in boxing back in the day and they had Joe Louis and all them. It wasn't fucking with Joe Louis, bro. But they was like in awe of his skill and his power, bro. He was knocking niggas the hell out. You see what I'm saying? Going like 20 rounds. Like these niggas is different back in the day. Flat-footed. Flat-footed, like yo, he could like you, and that's what I mean as a man. You gotta, even if you don't like sports, you gotta respect that dominance. Like you just gotta respect that. See what I'm saying? Like you should, if you a solid dude, like you gonna respect that. But you know, whatevs. I think we said enough, bro. What you think?
Would you rather watch a tree grow or a knee grow?
Why you read that shit? You didn't have to read.
Because I didn't know it was gonna.
Oh my god! Oh my god! I heard that before. That's why I said. That's why I said I'm not even gonna pay attention to that for this ratchet shit. But.
All right, guys. Well, thank you for tuning in. Hit the like button on your way out if you haven't already. Share and go watch our video from last week. It premiered at 8 p.m.
It was premiered the same time we was doing ours. I was like, oh snap.
But I mean, we went live. We go live every Sunday. But the replay is on. But yeah, thank you for tuning in. I'm La Hefa.
Chris O.D.
Smiley Jizzle. Liars, but.
Lifted.